Would you say your name again?
Valerie. You'll understand clearly what you need to eat because you'll know how your body is acting, how your body responds, what's in here. Okay, so we're going to go over what's in here. This presentation is similar to the same subject that I teach at Compton College. I've been there, I'm going on my 5th year. It's the same thing, digestion, how our body breaks up food, absorption, how our body absorbs. When you put coconut oil or lotion on, it goes through, right? People have to understand you have to actually have skin inside the body where the food can pierce through. If everything's damaged, how is it going to absorb, no matter what you take or eat? And then excretion, which is important to eliminate, right? Okay, and I did bring this magic question at the end of the lectures. So the question people always ask me is, how do I repair what you're talking about? I don't believe in supplements, but I believe in real food.
Two. I think you need two. I mean, no, I don't know. I don't know what you need.
Okay, so I'll go over that at the end. So the topic of this presentation, I know you've heard you are what you eat, but I take it a little further. You are what your body actually breaks down. Okay, you are what your body absorbs. Okay, if it's not absorbing, how is it helping you if you're not absorbing, right? So we have to go through what's everything in here that makes our body absorb whatever we're eating. And if I'm going too fast, stop me because I'm very understanding that people have never heard what I'm talking about because no one talks about nutrition as a science. People talk about nutrition as what do I eat, what's my diet. Vegan, vegetarian, stop eating meat. This is all we hear, but no one talks about it as it's an actual science of what's going on inside your body. Okay, this is also a presentation coming up in April that I'm doing at Children's Hospital on structural racism in the food industry because it is there. It is so embedded to the point where even people that work in the field like me can't see that they're part of the problem. Okay, they're just taking what they're taught and multiplying the racism. Okay, so that's April 5th, 2020.
April 5th.
Yes.
Which
There are
Children's
tickets.
Hospital? The one on Sunset?
There are tickets for that event. I don't know how much tickets are for the public, but I know for me it's like $65. So I start off with this question, what do you value the most? Because if I don't get to the root cause of the problem, which we talked about during the wellness series, how can I help you? Because if I care about you more than you care about yourself, then we're not going to heal. We're just going to continue to keep doing the same thing, and you're just going to keep giving me your money to come back. Because this is how the industry works, right? You go to the doctor, you pay him for something that you can't stop, and he keeps giving you the drug. Okay? We all are trained to do the same thing. Dietitians are trained. You're going to keep coming to us over and over, so we can tell you the same thing, and we get paid a good lump sum for your visit. Okay? So I try to keep you from coming back by teaching you how to take care of yourself. Okay? So what do you value the most? So you ask yourself this question. I value my life and time. Okay? My health, ability to move. Little things like just to hold a cup. I had one lady just tell me I can never hold a cup. This is what I do. And she works with 2 fingers for a long time. Okay? Some of you have seen this slide before. Consumer confusion. You see that this is nothing but confusion on the board, right? You see a bunch of diets, a bunch of stuff, just stuff. Right? That's all it is just stuff. This is what I get when people come and talk or I go and talk to them. Confusion. Okay? The information age is so much on Google. Everybody can Google themselves into a grade, right? And so as we become more confused, we lose confidence in what can actually be true. pretty much to religious beliefs, right? People have heard so many things, and then once they get to a one-on-one study of what's right, it's hard for them to believe what's true because their mind has been filled with so much confusion. Okay, so before we start, eliminate all that you have learned, and let's start from scratch. So we can just learn what is our mouth doing, because that's where we're going to start. Okay, what influences our eating habits? These are questions for you to ask yourself. Everyone has their own influence. It could be your emotions, it could be people, it could be your family, culture. Okay, understand that genetics is nothing but a bunch of habits that have been passed down generation to generation and altered genes. And so it's nothing more than starts with habits. Okay, we all came from the same soil. All right. Okay, so why do we need to learn about nutrition? Because these are the common diseases that are killing us in the community. Okay, even the wealthiest people are dying of the same thing. You know, with all their wealthy food and fancy food, they're dying of the same stuff. All right, number one is still heart disease because type 2 diabetes is the main contributor to heart disease. No one really dies from diabetes, they die from heart issues, which comes from diabetes. Some types of cancers, mainly is prostate cancer, prostate and breast. I have a wellness seminar for women and I have one for men to say specifically why these are happening and with each group. That could be for another time. So yeah, they've been saying for years, nutritious diet, exercise, right? What is a nutritious diet? No one ever said. Okay, so this is just a chart of, this is an old one, 2011. I'm sure the data has changed, but heart disease is still number one. Okay.
So I'm type 2 diabetic, and this is the first time this year that I've actually started to go to cardiology now.
Yeah, they kind of pushed you in there.
Well, it's because of my heartbeat is irregular. I have an irregular heartbeat. I was in to check my lungs x-ray, and they saw something with my heart. They went ahead and put me on a heart monitor for 2 weeks, and then they followed up. So,
What was the conclusion?
well, irregular, it's a irregular heartbeat, and so they think that there might be plaque in my arteries.
They think.
They
No,
think,
Of
yeah.
course there's plaque in your arteries.
Okay,
We're going to go over the arteries. You're going to actually see the plaque in there.
okay,
And we're going to talk about how to get rid of it.
okay,
But they know it's plaque. A lot of those tests, they trying to build up the building.
okay.
Can I say something real
Yes.
quick? My girlfriend changed over to a new doctor, so he sent her like to go check on everything. This one doctor, he wrote up all this stuff and said she had needed all this heart stuff. So when she went to go do it, the insurance wouldn't approve this doctor, so they approved another doctor. When she went to the hospital, at the other place, he said, "You have nothing wrong with you. Go back to that doctor." And he said, "Well, I'm sorry, I just thought you needed." He had drew this diagram, said she needed all these stents.
Yeah, I see this every
No.
day. It's kind of like,
Had her
they
scared.
push you through the fear of having to go to another test. And I don't want to talk about doctors because I see why they do what they do. It's a business. I participate in business, but I don't do it deliberately to rack up cash for the buildings, you know. But if your insurance qualifies you to have certain tests, they will send you to the test even if you didn't need it because you qualify. Why not take that money while you can? You know, Medi-Cal for kids, they do that for them. Like they went and took my son and gave him all these tests and he didn't need it. I fixed the problem myself in 3 weeks. But Medi-Cal, the government pays for kids fully. So they're going to give them all the care. You know, but after 18, you'll see, oh, we can't give you that test because they don't pay for all the care with Medi-Cal. So it's a game, you guys.
They was going to put 3 stents in her heart, and she didn't
See,
need none of them.
It's just a game. I just met a lady who, they said she had ovarian cancer and she don't. And they were going to get, I think she took some treatment and she never had it. it's not everywhere. You do have some doctors who care and some that don't. I find that the caring ones are in private practice mainly. But it's, a lot of it is billing. I promise to God, we don't talk about not one patient's health. It's all about what do they cover. And I actually do the same thing. Are they Medicare or Medi-Cal? Because I know if I recommend something and they're Medi-Cal, they're not going to give it to them. So I have to ask. So it's all about billing and money, sadly. This is why I do these for free, because I hate seeing the people cry. You gonna do it? What they say, this guy said, you need to do, what do they give people, dead people? You need to do this on my father. I promise you he didn't have dementia, but, yeah. I'm laughing. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's really serious.
it's just life. We hearing today.
She counseled her. They even told her don't get on the plane. She counseled her flight not to go to her auntie's funeral.
And we don't know if that's true or not, you know? Like, this is why you have to learn these things, okay?
Yeah.
So I will get to the heart when we get to the fat lecture, even though fat and heart have nothing to do with it, but it's in the lecture.
Okay, all right.
All right, all these are lies. All right, so we first need to know what are nutrients? People say eat a nutritious diet, so you need to know your nutrients. So write down fat, carbohydrates, and proteins. Those are the first three we're going to talk about. A nutrient is life-sustaining chemicals that come from your food. Your food is made up of fat, carbs, or protein, either one or all of them. And they're supposed to give you energy. These three. Alcohol is on there because it is an energy source, but we're not talking about that because none of you are like homeless and live on alcohol for a living. Right? Because there are people who live off beer and it's like their daily food. Okay, but it is an energy source because energy is measured in calories. So you look on your back of your labels and you see it says calories. That's energy. How much energy is in it? Okay, we measure it with calories. I calculate them all day. This person requires this amount of calories for sepsis or pneumonia. Okay, these are energy sources. Do you see vitamins and minerals up here? No. They're not energy sources. These are the first three that we're going to talk about. Now the other nutrients is three more, is water, vitamins, and minerals, but we're not talking about them right now. They need like their own day. I'll mention them a little bit, but they're not energy sources. They just help push the energy along.
You said water.
Water, vitamins, and minerals. So we got 6 total nutrients. Vitamins, minerals, water, and carbs, proteins, and fats. And carbs, proteins, and fats are energy sources. The other 3 is for helping the energy sources. They don't
vitamins, water,
and minerals. Vitamins, water, and minerals. Okay, they just help energy. They don't give you energy, right? Just like gas can sit in the car, and if you're wondering why the car is not moving or starting and the gas is not flowing, the vitamins and minerals is like the thing that helps trigger. Okay, they're not the actual gas, right? This is the actual fuel. Okay. So this, we all agree, carbs, proteins, fats are energy sources. That's it. People say, I don't have no energy, and we'll get some vitamins and minerals. Not how we do this. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about is the word digest. Digest, D-I-S, it's so small, D-I-G-E-S-T-I-O-N, digestion means to break down. Okay, the moment you stick something in your mouth, you're going to break it down with everything in the mouth. And then absorption is like the ability for the food to go through the body. So we have something called the GI tract, gastrointestinal tract. And this is the whole gastro, it's the whole thing. The mouth to the rectum. And we're going to go through those organs. We're going to go through the organs of the GI tract. All day, this thing is moving because it's a muscle. That's what it does. Once your brain is messed up or something like some type of Parkinson's, dementia, even diabetes is a disease from the head to the toe. When there's neurological functioning, it messes with the muscular movement of your whole GI tract. This is why I focus on digestion for everyone, regardless of what disease you have. Because if we can't fix this problem, nothing else can work. Okay? And bioavailability just means how available the nutrients are to your body. So a person can take supplements all day and it's not bioavailable to their body because something's wrong with it and somewhere in this GI tract. Like all these people with acid reflux, these are little signs you need to heal something. It's not just go take Pepsid or AC or whatever the stuff they tell you to take. No, you go heal it. Okay, so we're going to go through that. Now, from the mouth to the rectum, there's a lining. Similar to this, if you touch the inside of your mouth, see how fragile that is? Can you imagine people that drink poison every weekend? They can damage their linings, or drugs, or junk food, drink poison. Or drugs, or junk food, you're damaging these linings. All here. That's how we absorb. We can't just focus on up here, going to get skin care. What about the inside skin care? Right? Because that's how we absorb the nutrients from the food. And I guarantee you, once you heal the linings, you feel the food moving in your body. You start eating regular food, and you go after like a year of healing your linings, and you go, wow, I got all this energy, because your body is absorbing it. Right? Nutrients are what? Life-sustaining. They should not make you tired. Right? No one should be eating and falling asleep. You should be eating with energy. I mean, right? Life-sustaining? Think about it. Okay, so we're going to go through these organs. And the first one, we're going to talk about the first part of the GI tract, that muscle, that major muscle movement. We're going to start with the mouth. Okay? We do two things in the mouth. We chew, we bite and grind, right? Bite with the front, grind in the back. That's mechanical movement, right? Movement. You do this, but when you do this, you generate saliva, don't you? Right. Can you imagine having dry mouth? I see people with dry mouth. I go, ooh, that's painful. Because how would they have any moisture to help put the food in a ball, right? Little things like that matter. The moisture is the chemical digestion. This is where the digestion starts. This is where the breaking down of the food starts. It ain't really a mouth. It's the moisture that comes from your glands, your cheeks, all around, that helps you form that food into a little ball before you swallow it. Okay? The chemical part, what's inside this chemical part, this saliva, this spit, right? Enzymes. Key word. You're going to hear me say that the whole time, right? Enzymes. You got enzymes that live in your salivary glands. The moment you stick something in your mouth and start chewing, it's helping all that saliva, the enzymes inside the saliva are going inside the food ball and breaking it all up. They speed reactions. And you also get these enzymes from the actual food source. So whatever you ate, now if it's cooked, it ain't nothing in there. But if it's raw foods, there's enzymes in it. Question?
I was just going to say, when we're young, we don't realize the importance of our teeth because as I've gotten older and have lost teeth, that it's been brought out by the dentist that you have less of a chance of properly breaking down your food.
Yes.
So it makes it hard for once you get into the chemical digestion area to really, because you still got to make maybe too big of chunks of food.
I help people, a lot of people in their 90s, and they tell me straight up, because they're very straightforward, the 90-year-olds, that is the 90s, not the 80s. They say, I don't need no teeth. My gums are hard enough to chew. Speech therapists, I always have to recommend a speech eval. Speech therapist comes in, checks, and they go, yeah, they use the gums are so hard that because they have the saliva still, they're able to,
To break down those.
yeah, because they don't have an ounce. It won't be no, and then they'll throw the dentures. I don't want that. I can chew the food myself. I've been doing it all this time. So they don't want the teeth. You know, they don't want puree food. They said just chop it up for me. And as long as they have the saliva, they're able to form that food in a ball. And they don't choke. They'll put choking risk on their chart, but they ain't gonna choke. Be the ones with the missing teeth that choke. The ones that was like, what do they, somebody called it something, I can't remember, like, you know, the spaced out teeth.
Yeah.
They better off taking it all out. But sometimes the ones with the, they come in drug abuse or alcohol, they have gum damage. They can't do anything.
Oh,
I think the gums are highly important, gum health.
okay.
You know, people have been putting teeth in, but I'm like, what about your gums? They gotta hold the teeth in. But I've seen some rotten gums, they can't even chew. They go straight to G-tube. And if you don't have if you have dry mouth, you don't have enzymes in there, how are you supposed, it's hard to swallow. You can choke on dry food. Imagine chewing and there's no wetness.
But when you're on medications too,
Yeah.
they tend to make you.
It tears away the seed, and we're going to talk about all the things messing up with these linings, little precious things that make a big difference. Okay?
Ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they tell us to gargle, so does that Listerine or whatever brand you use, does that help?
That's
or
for
does it
breath.
hurt? I
You
know,
can take
but
some mint leaves and chew on them.
but I'm asking,
Does it help?
What's
does it
in it?
affect that chemical stuff you use?
Oh,
for
no,
gargle?
no.
Okay.
But people do need to do more as far as doing the linings of their mouth, like adding more food with minerals and eating more raw herbs, actually biting something, working it. Mint leaves are more effective than a Listerine and rosemary.
For the breath or for the?
The breath with the overall teeth gum health. Mint leaves, rosemary, this. We go over my friend, I eat this all day. Dirt. Okay.
Dirt?
Yes.
They said as a child when you used
Forget
to
the
eat dirt,
toothpaste,
it's
I
good
just
for you.
mix that in some and start swishing it around my mouth and chewing it on. It has all the minerals in it, like sand. We'll go over diatomaceous in a minute.
Okay.
What else do we get enzymes? How else do we get enzymes in the mouth? From the food, the raw foods. Okay? Raw foods have enzymes in them. Why do we need the enzymes? Because they help us break down the food, right? We want to do as much breaking down up here before we get here. That's the goal. Because we don't want to put too much pressure down here. When we get down here, you guys going to start maybe crying. Because these organs be tired. Because you eating and they're doing a bunch of other things in the body all at one time. So when you talk about cancers and diseases, it's called organ fatigue. That's what I call it. I'm like, this is nothing but organ. You know, you got to put it in real terms. This is organ fatigue. It's inflamed. We call it pain, right? Inflammation. It's tired. Wouldn't you be tired if you were working? I know my grandmother worked in the fields and cleaned houses. She say she's tired. Her hands won't move, and that makes sense, right? Same with the organs. So we understand the mouth.
But when you eat more raw vegetables,
Mm-hmm.
the you know, the vegetables have different textures and different, so that does not affect the digestive system.
It doesn't.
Affect it as far as, you know, the coarseness.
If you don't have any colon diseases, it won't affect. But if you have, once you get to like my son's father, he's at the point where he has diverticulosis and itis. So his colon has holes in it. He can't eat that.
Oh.
He will need to
That's
eat.
why they say when you have cancer or something.
It needs to be like for him, like if I ever make food, I go, you can't have a salad, but I'll give him something soft fiber, like papayas and applesauce, things like that. Or if it needs a salad, for you to use a bathroom, it needs to be grinded in a grinder. So it's all chopped up, so that it won't irritate.
But
It needs to be super,
irritated, like.
and you need to have a lot of soluble fibers, softer. Soluble, just think of soft fibers. Like the the inside of the apple, not the skin. The skin is the insoluble, because it comes out when you poop, right? But the inside, you don't see that, because it actually digests. It absorbs. So for him, he will need a lot of papaya, tons of it. Papaya seeds, maybe raisins. Something soft, but it does irritate. He'll have an attack in a minute. And it's very painful. So with a healthy colon without that, yes, you need the roughage. And, sweep that stuff on out. But I always suggest grind that stuff up, even the nuts. Okay?
Okay, my kids are on the other side.
Mhm.
She has dementia, so she was telling me she can feel her stomach. And I told them that it's right because she was comfortable.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so anyway, she in the hospital right now. They talking about doing surgery, like she was saying, but she don't really need surgery. She
Surgery
just
on
needs to
what?
be- Huh?
Surgery on what?
I don't know what they talking about doing surgery on, but anyway, I'm saying she just needs to be cleaned out.
Definitely,
So what
because
would be the best
a
way for that?
constipated person does have major confusion. I worked with a guy for 5 years with type 2 diabetes. He had COPD, which is like emphysema, and then they said he had a family history of dementia. He didn't have it, but they treated him for it because he had a family history of it. So once they treated him for that, the Seroquel caused something else, which is called Parkinsonism. So he ended up with Parkinsonism, which is symptoms of Parkinson's disease, and he ended up major constipation. I have never seen constipation this bad. I have never. It was his whole entire stomach was green. Okay, I had to call a nurse. We stuck our hands up. Because his brain was so confused and not able to, remember I said the contraction? I was able to extend his rectum and stick my whole hand all the way up. Can you imagine not being able to control down here?
Right.
The precious little things, like there's no muscle contraction. I was just able to stretch it and start pulling. We were just pulling out feces. And like a week or two later, this man started talking better.
But that's what I'm saying with
Ain't no
her, because I'm
dementia.
thinking, even if she has dementia, it's probably not as serious as they saying
It
it
don't
is.
exist.
And then, it doesn't exist.
I don't think so.
And then, so what could she eat?
You don't think
to-
what is it?
I mean, a lot of like you start seeing it, you start thinking some stuff don't exist. Like
But what could she eat to make her bowels move? That's what I'm asking.
she needs to get up. Is she able to walk? She needs to get up and move. And then, how old is she?
She's 88.
Yeah, see, for her, I would give her, you can give her some prune juice to start it, but not too much. It'll cause runny stools.
Oh,
So, I have this stuff that I give people. I will talk about it when we get to the colon. Okay, then I'll go through some foods. Everyone understand the mouth. We do two things. We chew and we have enzyme. Who does the actual breaking down? Enzyme. Enzymes. You damage lining, ain't no enzyme's going to be able to come out, right? Because the enzymes live in here. Okay? It lives in your spit. You need it. Okay? You need a lot of saliva. All right, so we understand enzymes. And we have enzymes for carbs up there, and we have enzymes for fats up there, not proteins. Now we're going to get into how we're eating. Because if we don't have enzymes for protein up there, why do we mix proteins with fats and starches all on one plate, right? Everything is starting at a different point. So we'll go over that.
So where do we get enzymes from?
From these taste buds, these salivary glands in your side of your mouth, your spit is living in there. And then the other enzymes come from the food,
Okay.
the actual food, but most people cook, so they don't get it.
Oh, so how do we help our enzymes along?
You have to eat more raw.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we have taste buds up there. We have umami, sweet, sour, salty, bitter. Umami is that taste people like the Chinese food, the MSG. That's that umami taste bud, the meaty taste bud. People like it, okay? So these are things that God lets us know, I want you to enjoy, right? Because he wouldn't give you taste buds if he didn't want you to enjoy. But the thing is, you have to choose what's good for you.
Repeat that again, umami is?
Umami is the meaty flavor taste bud that enhances your meaty flavor. You know, you just like that taste of the fried rice. It's just
Okay,
like it
right.
just hits a certain part of your mouth. That's the umami. Okay. Bitter. Most people don't use bitter, but most of the bitter is all the minerals and vitamins is inside bitter foods. Okay. Okay, so let's go now. We've chewed our food. We got saliva, which is the enzymes going inside the little ball. Now we get to swallow, which is a huge blessing. Remember, as we go from mouth to the rectum, we are muscle contracting, right? So remember, there's still movement going on. The brain is active, because the brain is what's controlling the movement, right? So the esophagus is just tube where your food goes down, and right next on the side is a flap. And this flap is called your epiglottis. You just have to know you can't chew and talk at the same time, because this epiglottis right here, this little flap, if it opens, then the food's going to go down the breathing tube. This is why kids can't eat and talk. We say don't chew and talk, because they can easily choke. Someone told me a report like 2-3 years ago. A guy came home from work, sat down, grabbed the apple. He died swallowing an apple. I always said, dang, you never know. Because he probably, I wonder, was he talking? And talking, because it gets stuck, that's it, you know? So this is the food mass right here going down the back. Here's the flap right here protecting your breathing tube. Okay, your body, you do stop breathing every time you swallow. Okay, it's a quick, everything's quick. And then this is called peristalsis, the muscle movement, the ability to go down. Okay, I'm just giving you words
So
so
when
we
you
know all
have,
these words.
what do you call it, gastritis, where it feels like the food is stuck right here, it's not, something's not properly working right there.
Gastritis.
Not gastritis, when they want
We
to go
haven't
down
gotten
to
to
your
that one yet.
esophagus.
You're talking about acid reflux?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so remember, all of these, as we're going down, we have inside skin, right? Linings. This is very important, okay? You can heal yourself after all this. These are linings, okay, inside. 3 things, we're in the stomach now, okay? Stomach has an environment that's acid. And it's not acid, truly acid, until you start chewing. When you were chewing up here, you notice your stomach has stomach pains. Who's chewing gum?
Me.
Does your stomach start hurting after a while? Like have like a little pains, like you're hungry, anything?
Oh.
That's the body sensing shit, something in my mouth and it's not coming down because you're preparing acid. You make the acid, make sense? As we get older, some people don't make the acid right. So they end up with low stomach acid, which is a big issue because now they can't eat certain foods, which we'll get at in a minute. Okay? So there's an acid environment. When we were in this esophagus, this environment becomes so acidic, the esophagus has a door. Once you get here, there's a door. It stops. This is where you start feeling it. It stops, and then it has to knock. Can I come in? Of course, because it has to knock, because it has to, the stomach has to let you know it's ready. Okay? So there's stomach acid inside. Stomach acid is only there to make the environment acidic. It doesn't digest anything. It doesn't break down nothing. It's just there. And it has to be there. Why? Because we have something that's called enzymes again. Now these enzymes are not the enzymes in the mouth. These are enzymes that need the acid. Make sense? Every part of your body, of the GI tract, has enzyme function for that region that needs a certain environment. It's like going to Alaska. They need cold. You go down on the other side of the equator, they need heat, right? So these enzymes need acid, okay? They need the acid to turn on. If there's no stomach acid, or if a person has low stomach acid, you will know it, okay? If a person has low stomach acid, the enzymes are off. So if you eat a piece of meat, I hear it all the time. Oh, my body can't handle beef like that no more. Or my body can't handle meat no more. That's because meat digestion starts in the stomach. And it requires this acidic environment to turn these enzymes on. Meat digestion needs more enzymes than the other foods. Okay? So it starts in the stomach. In the mouth, it was starches and fats. But in the stomach, it starts, meat digestion starts here. Okay? So these enzymes require the acid to be there. The acid just has to be there, pH of less than 2. And then, if you have acid, you're going to need mucus, right?
Okay.
Because what's the mucus going to do? Coat it. Or else you're going to burn holes through your stomach, right? Which we call ulcers. Okay? Which are just like, when I was in school, it was so hard. I was like, okay, sores. Change all these words. Sores. It's a sore. Because I used to say, what is an ulcer? Ain't nothing but a sore. Okay? And it hurts, right? You eat something and then it stings a little bit, so then they tell you stay away from foods that have higher acid. And then I'm like, I can't live like this. So what do we need to do? Repair the linings. It's not an acid problem. It is a what problem?
Enzyme.
No.
Oh,
The mucus. The mucus is what's protecting the linings. You don't have proper mucus secretion coming out of your skin, so you have to. It's so simple, isn't it? This is basic. This is what I teach the kids at conference.
So how did we have all that missing?
Huh?
I have a stomach problem.
Yeah. So once you repair the linings, now your skin can naturally secrete mucus, right? Everything in our body secretes mucus. Our eyes, right? We cry. We got mucus membranes around here. So we gotta have healthy linings. We can create mucus, and now your acid reflux problem is solved. Because it's not the acid. The acid is not the problem. We just send the little Pepsid AC, the neutralizers down there to neutralize the acid so you don't feel the burning. But the problem is we don't have mucus healing anything.
Okay, I know we talked about this last time.
Mhm.
So, are these the things that could be missing with a person, let's say, with Crohn's disease?
Yeah, I believe so. And I believe Crohn's disease can be fixed with repairing the linings. I just talked to a lady who works at the same office, and her son's had it for years. And I said, Mary, you sit around all this, you don't tell him this? And she said, he's not going to really do it. You know, but she sits around the best thing that hit this planet, and when this man dies, I don't know who's going to make it.
What is it?
He's 76 years old making it.
Dr. Brad?
Yeah, I mean, who's going to make it? Because no one makes this. You can't have a pill to fix the linings. You need the powder. Most people are stuck on pills, and let me go take some CKLS. Everybody's taking a new body, or let me go take a laxative, and it's not the problem. The problem is it hurts to eat, right?
So what is that?
Right. This is a powder. I'll go over at the end. It's a powder, and I'll go through these ingredients and tell you what they do.
Okay.
And you take it before you eat, and what it does is it coats the linings immediately, and now it's like the food sliding.
Oh, I did the detox, so for a week of all that, but I stopped because I just couldn't take it.
Yeah, I did this for like 9 months one time.
You did?
I was addicted, and then he kept saying, you can't keep doing this. I said, I just want to keep eating it. I
So
said,
you
this is
can eat that
everything. Yes.
I was putting it in the water.
When I was pregnant with my son, I did this for the whole 9 months.
Really?
I was miserable.
Oh,
That's a reason I've been on her.
Yeah. and I'm sorry, I'll clean it up. And then I feel like I healed a lot of things. I popped a cyst, I did a lot of stuff. Anyway.
so did you mix it with water?
It says, it says mix with apple juice, because apple juice has an enzyme in it that helps everything absorb faster, but I took some water and
I just did water.
I just eat the stuff. Right? It's like it's everything I eat, I just take that down and I go, oh, I feel better. Yes, because it protects you. It's like protecting you from whatever is in that food. That can, we don't know what's going on inside here. There's no test that can tell you your linings are damaged. There's only what you feel like. There's no test for that. So you have to go off how you feel. I didn't like feeling, they told me I had IBS. I don't have that. So I fixed it. Right? Repair the linings. I said it's simple. Repair the linings, you won't have the problem. Okay? And now I don't have the problem. I don't feel bloated every time I eat rice or, You know, you shouldn't have to live with it with something that they label you that's not real. And IBS is psychosomatic. So once you fix the mind and calm down, you don't have too much of because the vein goes right up to here. It's a nerve that goes right here to there.
What does that stand for again?
When you're,
IBS.
yes, IBS, now they're saying it's psychosomatic, so they're noticing women, and they're diagnosing so many women with this because it's related to the nerve.
Is that an acronym for something else?
Irritable bowel syndrome,
Gotcha.
sorry.
Okay, all right. That's
And then there's a lot of different diseases under irritable bowel, and Crohn's is part of it's a type of irritable bowel syndrome. But I just say repair the linings and everything's fine. But like I said, it starts with belief, because I honestly believe when I say something, it happens. I do. I honestly do. Does everyone understand the stomach? You see the mucus. Everyone knows hydrochloric acid is not digesting anything. It's just there, right? The acid. Who's doing the breaking down? The enzymes, we need them to be on. I think about it all the time. I want to turn my enzymes off. You go to a restaurant. I'm thinking enzymes. I don't want to be bloated. I hate feeling bloated. I hate feeling gassy, bloated, and tired. And then when you get gassy, bloated, and tired, what hurts? Your legs hurt, don't they? And then I do this at work. Everybody go, what are you doing? I'm like, my legs hurt. Knowing what I ate, right? I had chocolate cake.
So where should you eat at the restaurant then?
I just get a lot of roughage and I eat whatever I want with it.
Oh, okay.
So I make sure I have my, you always make sure you have your plant. And then the other stuff is we could split that, right? I know Penny be like, we could split it, yeah. These plants. And then I like to get, when I go get my Thai food, which I think I get today, I don't eat chicken, but I like to get the Thai beef salad. And then I get a bunch of vegetables. And I like to eat what I want, and then I eat a tons of vegetables with it. I don't believe in a diet. There's no such thing. Okay? But there is a way to eat it. I will show you how to eat it now. You can't go eat no beef and rice. Okay? We just talked about 2 different ways they break down, right? But the beef and broccoli, you can eat the salad, the vegetables, tons. I'm saying tons. It has to be a lot. Okay? But then you eat beef and rice, now you're tired because the body's slowing down. It got to sort out the digestion process. The rice for the mouth, the beef for the stomach. You see, that's just too much. Now you're sitting there going like this. I don't like being tired. Okay?
That wobble grill, that
All that. See, that whole movement is killing people.
yeah.
And it started in the 90s, the bowls.
The what movement?
Bowls. Yeah. You gotta watch now. I don't watch TV. I just watch what's in the street, and I'm seeing what's popping up, and I'm like, it's all marketing.
I don't eat the bowls.
You get a bowl, you get a bun, and then the vegetables have something on it. Because I went to the Wagyu Grill one time, or whatever it's called, and I asked for vegetables, and I had a major headache. I said, there's something on here, because I'm sensitive to everything. And I said, this is why I cook. So now I just get me all these little raw crackers and eat that stuff till I get home. Because they put something on those vegetables, because I had a headache. I don't know if it was MSG or some coating, but I had a major headache. Small intestine. We got another door that leaves the stomach. Why do we need doors in the stomach? Because it's acid. So we have to move on to the what? Next organ, which is alkaline environment. You see why we needed the doors in the stomach? We can't have everybody open. Remember, you have doors everywhere in your body. I just don't talk about them. Okay, there's doors in the small intestine too to separate certain regions. Okay, you rarely hear about small intestine cancer. This is why. The job of the small intestine is to finish off the breaking down process, finish digestion. Remember, once you're done biting and grinding, all the grinding and stuff stops here. We haven't even gotten to the large intestine, the small intestine. The biting and the grinding starts there, stops there. And then that's where we absorb. So all the good stuff that you ate, it has to be healthy food. We're going to absorb all the nutrients the body recognizes. What are the nutrients?
In the small intestine?
In the small. Carbs, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, all get absorbed and the small intestine. Now, if it's none of that, the body, small intestine's gonna go, I don't know what that is, keep moving. And most people eat, I don't know what that is, right?
Can I ask you a question? How many years ago? 28 years ago, I had a bypass. I don't know what they went up in there and mixed up and cut up inside my
Gastric bypass? Okay, so a gastric bypass, so they took, and I used to have, I have a picture, I don't know if it's on this, it's on another presentation. They cut the stomach, so your stomach is probably like the little piece at the top, like literally probably the size of your fist. So there's your stomach up there, they sliced it, and then they sliced right here, and then they connect it to the small piece, and the big part of the stomach is gone.
So they left the small to work, right?
They connected a bypass is just taking one and crossing it with another. So they took the small intestine, cut the stomach, and connected it with the other piece of the small intestine. So your stomach is smaller, which means you're going to eat less. And it's not about the eating less. There's a hormone, a messenger in your stomach that secretes to your brain. It goes up. So you're not going down, you're going up. And it says, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. I guess the theory is if we cut the stomach, that hormone will be secreted less, and you'll be less time saying, I'm hungry. Okay? There's another hormone that secretes from the fat saying, I'm full. Okay? So it's a play in hormones. If we cut the stomach, maybe she'll be less hungry because we took some of that, the stomach won't be secreting so much of the hormone that says, I'm hungry. So that's all that is. You have a little bit of stomach left, which messes up the mucus, stomach acid, and the enzymes.
That's why my stomach is.
But you can repair all these things. I know a girl, and everyone was laughing at her at something I went to 2 years ago in Alabama, and she said, you wouldn't even think I had the gastric bypass, and she healed herself. We're using real food, like with collagen, all the things that repair lining, she did that. I mean, took farm animals and boiled down and like real old-fashioned food, you know? But she had good sources and she repaired her linings, and she said, I don't have to take any supplements, because with that surgery, you do have to do supplementation for the rest of your life, because your body's not going to be able to absorb.
And I really don't take it.
You're not going to be able to absorb it. It all's not lost. So we understand what the small intestine does. Absorption got one job. Now understand, the body is like people. You put them on a job, this is what you do. Someone could be dying over here and they're still there saying, that's not my job. That's what the body does. The small intestine, it does it. If it doesn't recognize it, it's not going to absorb it. It's going to push it on to the next organ. So all the strain is going to be on him. Also, the small intestine looks different. It don't look like this big, giant, large intestine. It has hair on it. Everything in your body that's meant to absorb has hair. And there's hair in the small intestine, and that hair sheds. It sheds as you're eating. I'll be tearing up when I talk. Students think I'm a geek. I mean, it sheds as you're eating and goes into the food as you're moving, because we're still doing muscle contraction, right? It's shedding come up, shedding come up. Can you imagine growing produce in the ground and it's popping up as you're, like that fast? Can you imagine that? So it's like old cells, new cells, old cell, new cells, and as the food is pushing them on. Old cell, new. And that shedding is so important because it's maintaining the lining, making sure it's healthy and it can keep absorbing nutrients. Most people don't shed.
They don't say.
No. You can tell they don't because they get tired and they don't absorb nutrients. You shouldn't be tired after you eat.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You should not. The moment I hear fatigue, it's colon and your adrenals, the little flap on top of the kidney.
So if you cheat yourself on nutrients, what happens?
Let me see if I have a
What?
slide.
Cheat yourself.
Cheat yourself from your nutrients.
Okay, you cheat yourself on nutrients. How is your shedding going to happen? See the shedding? This is the hair. See these little eyeballs? These are where the nutrients go. These little cells, they're called absorptive cells. The nutrients go inside. And then here's these little taxi cabs outside waiting to take the nutrients to send them where it's running like a factory in there. So it can send the nutrients where it needs to go.
Wow.
So most people don't have that. So if you don't have it, you have nutrient malabsorption.
Yeah.
This is what I try to fix, my goal for the next, however many years we're supposed to live here. I want to fix this is called malnutrition. It has nothing to do with weight. It is malnourishment all across the board. The small intestine has a high cell turnover, the shedding, right? And it happens as you're eating. This is crazy. And it requires nutrients to create new cells. New cells can absorb nutrients from older cells. Okay, because older cells get caught up in the food mass that's moving, and then the nutrients are able to go through. You know, it's like recycling all through there. This turnover is called cellular division. It requires high nutrient needs. Without the required nutrients, fewer absorptive cells are replaced, causing nutrient malabsorption. So that's what happened. And just remember, most people are starved. All right? This is starvation. Because how else are you getting your food? How are you getting nutrients? We're just feeding our colons all day. Because if the small intestine don't gotta work, just sitting there, oh, they didn't eat no nutrients today, I didn't have to absorb today. And meanwhile, the large intestine is just loading up. I think about it all the time. Just loading up, Valerie, you ate that cake. Go get that, fix it. You know?
So if you eat about a salary a day or raw vegetables, like say you eat carrots and stuff like that.
Yeah, you eat throughout the day and don't worry about how much. And,
Apple, you know.
yeah, and not all together. That's important. You eat it all separately. And you're eating stuff throughout the day. You're feeding your body nutrients. You know, I think about it all the time. I be hungry at work. And they have all these, I work with Filipinos, they lay spreads. I mean, you sitting there and they come over here and eat some chicken adobo. I said, I don't eat chicken. You have the juice like you usually do. Put the juice on the rice. I said, no, thank you.
Oh, you don't eat?
No, I don't want none of that.
You
Because
don't
I don't eat everyone's meat.
Oh.
I spend a lot. I don't care how. I used to make, when I was at $900 a month, my kids, we're gonna eat some good stuff, and I figure it out. If we're gonna eat meat, I'm gonna go find the best. I used to go all the way to the farm and at Cal Poly and get the roast that they just killed from the slaughterhouse and threw it inside the refrigerator, and you got 3 days to eat it. That's the type of stuff I'd rather buy. I'm not gonna eat these adobos, these people's meat, and they get it from vendors where I know where the vendors got their stuff from, because I worked in the kitchen before, and I clearly see how they do their food supply when you order their food from big chains. Then when you go to a restaurant, I see the truck in the parking lot, oh, they got Cisco? And I don't even want to eat here no more, because I know Cisco food, I know all them vendors,
Right.
they making money, and they're ran by people that just care about the money, Jews. They care about the money and don't eat the food. Because you know Jews can't eat it no way.
You know what I put on my meat before I even cook it, or before I fix it or do anything to it? Apple cider vinegar.
Yeah,
Oh, my.
it's just what that animal ate.
Oh, you talking about what the animal ate?
I tell people, this is how you choose meat. What did it eat? Period.
So is that why they're seeing the grass-fed and
Um,
wild caught and all?
all animals eat grass. However, some animals are not eating grass all year round. They're eating feed. And when you look at the animal feed, look at your dog food. Who has a dog? Look in the back. It's corn, wheat, soy, the same stuff that they're feeding our animals and give us the meat. It's not about the meat. That's the problem. It's what they're feeding these poor little animals. So grass-fed is better. To be honest, Target's grass-fed, something's wrong with that company. Whoever, the company.
Target?
I know it is. I can taste it. So I stick with grass. I get the Trader Joe's grass-fed. They're not that great, but I get that one because I feel different. And I see the results on my kids different. But that grass-fed at Ralph's and Target is something, I don't know how that vendor, the company, is something weird in the taste.
What about Sprouts?
Yeah, that's fine. You just paid a little extra money, and you can't eat it every day. So, can't eat it every day, we eat something else. It's not the end of the world, you know, but I refuse. They're feeding animals feed. And so what are you going to eat? Feed. And corn, wheat, soy has all these certain type of, I don't want to call it fats because I don't want you to confuse you guys, but I went over in the last series, we went over omega-3 and omega-6s, remember? The two different types of fats, they're both good for you, but too much of one brother makes the other brother jealous, right? So the other brother is the jealous one is the one you need, okay? He can't help you if you don't get enough of him. You eat too much of the omega-6, you eat too much of those, now you're having all these joint pains and arthritic diseases and all these issues. And it's not the meat, it's what they gave the animal. Corn, wheat, soy, omega-6. And it's not like we're eating carbs all day, we're eating carbs all day through the meat. Isn't that interesting? It's interesting. So we have something called accessories. Accessories, like your accessories?
Yeah.
Are they a part of your body?
No.
No, they're not. These aren't part of the GI tract, but they help. We need them to help. Okay?
What if you have the gallbladder missing?
The liver makes something that takes the grease off of the fat that you eat. You eat fat, and fat is greasy, right? Fat, we make our own detergents. It's called bile. You guys heard of bile? Bile is a detergent. It takes grease off. That's it. It's only one job. Okay? It takes the grease off the fat. So every time you eat fat, it takes grease off. Okay? Why do we need to take the grease off? Because we need who to break it up? Enzymes. We got the enzymes going to be skating, so they got to have the bile. Okay? Bile is made in the liver, and it goes to him to store. He has one job, just to store. Now, what happens when people's gallbladders get so full? Okay, and it starts.
What if it's gone?
Mine's gone.
Okay, when we start making, see these bile salts? These are bile salts, gallstones, right? We start creating all these stones. Okay, that's our body producing so much bile. Okay, these stones hurt, right? But you can dissolve them. You don't have to get the thing removed.
So where is the stuff going from the liver now if the gallbladder's gone?
I'm trying to see. You see this tube?
Yeah.
The little green tube?
Yeah.
It's coming from the liver. Those where the bile goes through that to here. Sometimes it gets stuck in there. Sometimes it gets stuck. People have to go get surgery and get the stuff taken out, right?
But they removed my whole gallbladder. Where's it
Yeah,
going?
so where's your bile going to go?
I don't know where it's going.
You know where it goes. Just look at the slide. What happens if there's no gallbladder there? Where's the bile going to do?
I don't know.
It's just going to drip.
So,
That'll make you sick itself, huh?
Look, medicine is only here to take away your pain.
Not to help your body.
It wasn't designed to fix the core problem.
Right.
Dietitians, what we learn is to fix the core problem. I don't even know why they put us there because we argue all day.
Right.
So you tell us to, they put us there just to make it, because the insurance requires you to have us. But we put something on the paper, you ain't gonna do it no way. Because the doctor's job is to make sure he has to approve everything, which is weird because he don't know what nothing we're talking about. And so now you see you're gonna have dripping bile. They didn't tell you that, right?
yeah, they sure did.
But what is it doing to
It's not like they put a little sack there and
They put something there.
They didn't
that
replace
bile
it.
dripping all over the place. Don't worry about it. God take care of it, right?
No, but what can I do?
Nothing now.
Well, you don't panic. That's what we do.
Yeah.
I have students with no gallbladder.
Yeah, what?
They not even 30 yet.
Yeah.
I got students, when I'm talking about this, Miss Henderson, so what happened? I'm sorry to hurt you. Or pregnant mothers, and I'm talking about this, and they saying, but I had this, it is what it is. We just learned what happened, and then we're going to talk about what to do in a minute, okay? So your bowel's just dripping because there's no gallbladder. There's no gallbladder there, okay? And then we have another accessory called pancreas. We all know about the pancreas. People put that with the diabetes and stuff, right? No, pancreas is so much more, which is why you end up with diabetic type problems because the pancreas is keeping those enzymes coming into your small intestine. so we can finish digestion. It's doing it all day. Now imagine it's doing that and it's helping secrete insulin, right? It's working. And then on top of that, before the even food ball even leaves the stomach, someone has to take the food ball and turn the pH, the acid, someone has to change it to an alkaline pH. So the small intestine can even see it. Who does that? Pancreas. So the pancreas is doing a lot. And the key is it's all at one time. This is how you know God, the body was made by a force that is also doing a lot at one time. Because this, I don't honestly see, the more I read, I go, wait, so all this could be happening as we're chewing, and then sitting, or walking, or we're doing a bunch of things at one time, everything's moving. It's tired, you know? So they talk about mindful eating. They say, try to eat and sit down, right? I think the best reason to eat and sit down is because we have all this going on at one time. You know? So everyone understand our accessories? Gallbladder, liver, and pancreas. Those are our accessories.
And you can't live without the pancreas or
The pancreas, no. That's why you see pancreatic issues. But I've seen some people live years
without
without
a
pancreatic cancer. You know, if you have pancreatitis, where you have inflamed pancreas, you can live with that. But without a pancreas, no, you'll die. That's the only way your body can absorb nutrients, needs enzymes. And the enzymes, most of the enzymes in the small intestine come from where? Pancreas. See? Enzymes. Not just for diabetes. Diabetes is a digestive issue.
Diabetes is what?
A digestive issue.
Really?
It is not, I do not put that together with a blood sugar problem. That was after the fact. What started it was the digestive issue.
So if you correct that, then you shouldn't be on this, supposedly.
I said that, and the lady said, we can't say that. I said, yes, we can. We could correct it. I said, you see it all. She's a certified diabetes educator. I said, you see it all the time. We just can't say it. Whatever. Okay, bile is a degreaser. So we went over, it takes the grease off. It's a detergent, right? You need soap. You need soap and dish soap when you clean pots and pans, especially greasy ones. And why do we need the bile? Because we have to take the grease off the fat. Bile is only for the fat digestion. Okay? Very important. And the liver, it makes cholesterol, and the cholesterol makes the bile. So do you need cholesterol? Yeah. That low cholesterol is the biggest myth, and people in England are writing papers today that are proving it was all wrong, that the Medical Association created diets, low cholesterol, low fat, low sodium, off no conclusive evidence. You need cholesterol.
But since I got my gallbladder taken, then my cholesterol went up because I
We'll
didn't
go
have
over
it at
all
first.
that. We're going to fix all that.
Hallelujah.
Large intestine, anything the small intestine can't see, right? If it's not a nutrient, we went over that. If it's not a nutrient, where to go next? Large intestine, just to keep loading him up, right? His job is not to digest food because he doesn't have hair. His job is to only take in the water. He takes in certain minerals, like your sodium and your potassium, those electrolytes that you put in your water, like the fruit, to help you create stool and use the bathroom. That's his job. Also, inside this large intestine is probably the best critters alive, bacteria. And this bacteria helps you be the person you are. It's amazing how the studies they're doing with this stuff. It makes you go crazy. The bacteria can predict what you've done in life, like your activity, your stress, your longevity. Because the bacteria, we come from soil, don't we?
What is E. coli?
Oh, that's a bacteria from a foodborne illness. That's a different type of bacteria. This bacteria requires all different types of cultures in that colon. Remember, all different types of cultures is the most important thing because they help with our mental health. Now, when you start taking antibiotics, it damages the bacteria. So now you have loose stools. Like the other day, a lady had C. diff. I recommended, I said she needs a probiotic. Why would she need that? I said, well, why? You wouldn't understand if I told her, you should just give it to her. I said, she's on antibiotic, vancomycin, because they had her on, they kept saying loose stools, stop the colates. I said, she needs a probiotic and she'll be all right. They said, just a probiotic? Watch the lady be all right next week. She'll be having better bowel movements. And her bacteria issue will correct itself without the vancomycin. Because good bacteria helps get rid of the bad bacteria. It's common. This is real. This is basic nutrition science. You don't even need no other information if you have this.
So if we eat, like, you know, how they have that yogurt, say that,
So that's from a dairy substance. Now
So that's
understand
not good?
bacteria is in all things raw.
oh, so no, we can't take.
No, you can eat that. I mean, if that's what you want. I don't recommend milk products because I think we went over this in the last class. It's pus. No, it does have pus. Pus. Period. So it has good stuff in it. Yeah, I could give you some good milk. I can go to the farm I go to get the meat, bring you the milk, and you will go. It is so good. Pus. Period. Even though it's natural and healthy, it's still pus. Okay, so it's like we see the good in some things, and it does have, and it has tons of antibiotic inside raw milk, tons of it, but it's still pus. So if most diseases are coming from pus, a cyst, a tumor, right? Aren't they pus? Ask the doctor what those tumors look like. Ask him, can you take it home? It's pus. A cyst. I've seen one come out of me. You know, women getting these ovarian cysts. When that stuff come out, that's pus. I used to get them here too. Big lumps, right? I seen that stuff come out of me. Pus. I was out there drinking that raw milk in college. Because the farm was right there, why not, right? And I didn't drink it before because my mom didn't allow it. But when I got out there, I was drinking it up in the gallon.
If you, say, don't drink all that.
Then how do you get your calcium?
Calcium.
Moringa. Did I go over this last time?
I didn't see you last time.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have brought my moringa. Moringa, it's a plant. Moringa. The highest source of calcium on the planet.
What about,
It's a plant.
M what?
Moringa. You can get it from, the best source I found is Moringa Farms. Call that guy and say, Valerie said, bring me a bag.
Bring you back. What it look like?
almond milk?
What it look like?
No soy for you.
What does it look like?
Man. Huh?
The moringa.
Say that again?
It's green.
Ah.
It's green.
Mhm.
You can blend it.
Yeah. My mom don't like it. It gives me a headache. I said drink it. And it has the same profile of a meat.
Oh, so
All the amino acids are in that little plant. That little thing, I wish I would have brought, I didn't think to bring it. But it has the same profile because I was looking at all the amino acids and it's the same thing as an animal.
So it has amino
Make sure
acids.
you, when you
plus
drink
calcium.
it, when you take the moringa, make sure you have some vitamin C with it so it can absorb faster.
You said soy is not good for
Not
man.
for me. It has estrogen in it. You don't
when you
need
say
that.
vitamin C, you mean pill form or you mean orange juice?
Orange juice. Oranges.
Oranges.
Oranges. You will never hear me mention anything that's been processed.
Right.
Now the moringa has been processed a little because they had to grind it into powder.
Oh, so it's in a powder?
It's in a powder.
Oh,
I don't do pills. Now I do this man's pills, you know, but not that stuff. Because they're marketing moringa, you guys. So Moringa Farms is the best. They're marketing moringa at all these stores, but you want the best source. So I trust his better because I've used it on sick people and saw quick results.
What's his number or where is it? or-
Moringa Farms, I'll see if I have it later. Everyone understand large intestine?
Yeah.
So our undigested foods, even our good stuff, our corn, lettuce, the stuff we don't digest, right? The 5 fibers, it goes in that large intestine. Okay, help us create some stools so we can get it out. And then we got the bacteria in there. We got to keep our microbes healthy. I always tell my kids, go and walk outside with your, your shoes off and everything. Go play in the sand. I mean, our generation, our immune system, because this helps your immune system, right? Or your immune system is your army, your soldiers, to protect you from getting sick. I have never seen a generation, I listen to my grandmother talk, then I listen to us, we can't beat nothing. Now, compare from what she was, and they didn't have anything.
I know, right?
And the stories, and I'm like, that's why your body's still here. We can't, it won't die even if whatever she got, it won't go nowhere because it's strong. But then our bodies is so damaged and fragile, and all this hand sanitizer, we're not building up our bacteria. It's called microbiome. We're not building our microbiome. We're so weak. You know, go wash your hands. I mean, you wash your hands before you eat and after you wipe yourself, but some stuff, go and get in and play. Have the kids play in the mud or the,
But see, I still did outside, like this morning I was outside in New York. See, that's fine. I like being outside.
yeah, and most kids aren't outside today. You know, they're not touching anything. They're just, you know, everything is, like at work, everything is just hand sanitizer. I'm like, okay, we touch the patient, wash your hands, but you guys are doing it all, like,
Or is it 5 times?
like, do you have an immune system? Get sick. What you gonna do when your child gets the measles? That's what my son's doctor said. I said, he'll get it and then he won't have it no more. Just like my mother had mumps, measles, and everything else. Just like my great-grand had with all these R words that I never heard of. And they all still stay.
Yeah.
Why is this important with proteins, carbs, and fats? Proteins, we have different names for proteins. You'll hear people say hormones. That's a protein.
Oh, this is.
You hear people say enzymes. That's a protein. Okay? DNA, your genetics. Proteins. Okay? Proteins make you. They're the building blocks of a person. Okay? Red blood cells. Proteins. It's crazy. Like hemoglobin, the hemoglobin levels, these are proteins. So, is protein going to be your #1 source of energy? No. It's going to be your last resort. Why? Because look at everything it's doing. Our body has about 200,000 proteins. So it's spending all day trying to maintain that.
We already have our own protein.
Huh?
You say our body already has.
It's making proteins from the proteins inside to make proteins you need amino acids. So you have a pool, a swimming pool in your body of amino acids so your body can make 200,000 different proteins. You know how many amino acids there are?
20?
Yes, it's 20, see,
I
it's
think it's
23. 11 plus 9. It's 11 plus 9. 20. We have 20 amino acids in the body, and it makes 200,000 different proteins off of those 20.
Wow.
So there's no way your proteins is the #1 source of energy because it's doing a whole bunch of stuff. And now if your body, when I see people, it's called a catabolic state, using protein for energy, that's when I know they're declining. That's when I know, okay, I gotta pump them up with something. Okay? Carbohydrates, that's your first source. To say you're on a low-carb diet, how? It makes no sense. How can you be on a low-carb diet? It's the only source of energy, the #1 source. Even if you get off the low-carb diet, your body's going to ask for some because it's the first source of energy. Who needs it the most? Your brain. That's where you get ketones from, right? I think we went over that a little bit. Fats is your second source. Look at the function of fats. It's a lot. Helps with insulation to keep you warm. Energy, structure of cells. Think about your body, right? The more fat, the more shape you have. Same with your cells. You know who wants a flat cell? We want nice, fluffy ones. I always tell myself I want to feed my cells today. Okay? I don't think about my age. I want to feed myself. I'm going to eat some fat. We're going to get some fat. This is going to be my fat day. Get all the good fats in my cabinet and throw them in I make weird stuff like chia pudding and coconut fat. Go get the fattiest stuff and sit there and eat. That stuff is good too. And I throw some nectar in there and eat it. Because I need fat to keep my cells alive. Your nerves have fat on them. I think a lot of this mental stuff is fat. No fat in the diet. We had low fat everybody in the 80s. Now everybody's mentally ill. theory behind dressing.
Oh.
These are sources of energy. Okay, I have not talked about vitamins and minerals. That would be a whole nother.
What's wrong with a person that freezes all the time like me?
It could be a variety of things. It's your
All right
fingers
now.
and hands.
I'm freezing. I wear earmuffs, some around my
Yeah,
neck.
your body, you dehydrated?
I don't know.
You drink water?
I started.
Sometimes water is the number one regulator of body temperature.
No,
So I know some men have profuse sweating. I noticed that's
I don't
dehydrated.
sweat.
What happened, I could go into the grocery store and go down the freezer aisle, and I have one finger on my hand that would start to turn white and get like it's numb. It's like it's
Like, just
losing
ignore
blood.
it.
Huh? She said.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you this.
What is it?
There's not a lot of answers for everything in the human body. I have so many books at home. I don't even have a house to put them in. And the doctors, the medical association, everything is a theory. So if I could tell you something, but I don't want you to take me as fact like that, because I'm only telling you from a theory or a research study.
Okay.
But I see people come in and it hurts me. It's to the deep core. It's probably why I wear earphones. Because they ask questions, not to say your question's wrong. The paleness could be iron, okay? Just to let you know. But it could be. See, I use that word?
Yeah, you did it.
But I see people say, well, what's wrong with right here? Or what, and I'll be wanting to say, just live.
Oh, okay.
It'll correct itself. Because they don't know. And I can tell you some stuff I tell you, I know for sure. I see it all the time. But paleness, cold extremities, hands, that's iron. And most of the time you can have iron, but you may not be absorbing it. You see why I focus on the core of the problem?
Yeah.
I can't tell you to go take iron.
I
I don't know if you're absorbing or not.
So I know how to absorb stuff.
Yeah, that's why we're focusing on the core, because I can supplement you with the best stuff in my kitchen. I have stuff in the kitchen that have helped a lot of people off all types of issues. But it starts with, I don't know if you're going to absorb or not. There's no test for it. There's no colonoscopy that can see what's wrong with your small intestine, because colonoscopy does a colon. So how are we going to look at the small intestine to see if your hair is, there's no test for these things. And half of the tests that they give for people are garbage. And then some of the x-rays, they just going off what they used to seeing. It's not clear.
Don't they do
People are being
MRI?
misdiagnosed left and right, huh?
Don't they do MRI?
That stuff, man. Like I started with the belief system, I can go through a machine and get my breast examined, and then I could be scared. Do I want to be scared? These are just my theories. I don't want to be scared, because once fear is in the body, my whole body gonna break down. And I see people left and right come in with different stuff, and I really think it's their mind.
Yeah.
But once you told them that one word, they're done.
Yeah.
That's why they say.
You just created their whole future off your mouth.
That's why they
You
say
tell
your mind
somebody you're
controls
gonna
your
die
life.
in 3
They're
months.
done. They just told
you're
Sister
gonna die in
Crenshaw that. You got 3 days. She's been here 2 weeks. Right. And then half of the doctors come in and don't even see the patient. They see the chart.
Yeah, right.
I see one lady, she's a black doctor, but I think she's a different type of doctor. She's the only one I see going in and out of the people's rooms and talking, but we look at charts, you guys. I look at charts. I'm guilty. If you're mentally sick, I ain't talking to you. I'm gonna go look at your chart and finish, because what you're saying ain't clear, and I can't fix you. So I'm just telling you, like, little things that pop up, like my dad was saying, he got some, and I said, we ain't even voicing that.
Right.
Do what I told you to do before you eat, and don't voice.
Right.
Because we speak it into, I really believe that. I can't stress it. I'm scared to say a lot of things. The devil can't get in here unless I say it.
Invite
So,
them in.
this is why I have to talk with the belief factor. What do you value? All right, if you have an issue, you can tell me in so many words, but don't claim it on yourself. All right, we could just heal our linings and try to eat proper until we get hit by a bus or something, blown up in a helicopter. All right, so undernutrition, okay? They like to say these are the things that cause an undernourished person. You just learned what an undernourished person is, right? It's a person that can't absorb nutrients because they're not shedding their hairs inside their small intestine. Simple Okay, it could be disease that causes a person undernourished. They're so damaged inside they can't repair the linings. Overpopulation, yeah. Okay, the food is messed up. Something's wrong with the food. They start canning everything because it's a lot of people. We gotta feed America, right? Don't they say that? They said it a lot in the 90s. Feeding America. They lying. Killing America. Parasites.
What did you start?
Parasites can damage the food supply. Okay, or they can damage the insides of your body. I took my dirt this morning. It has a little something in it that God put, like it's shaped like a diatom, and it traps my worms and sends them on out. Okay, that's what the diet. And you know, the making of this is amazing because it comes from the earth, underneath the ocean. It's just amazing. These are diatoms. You guys ever read about diatoms? And they told us in elementary. This is too long ago for me to remember, but. Diatoms, I remember that. So look them up, diatoms. This is diatoms from the ocean. Then they have other things that come from volcano ashes people take. And it helps remove heavy minerals from the body. These are the, people think it's a sign of times when to have natural disasters. I see it as healing things popping up on the planet. Like a fire, I'm like, oh good, they got a nice brush fire. Good, now all that soil can rejuvenate. You know, because that's naturally what we're supposed to be doing, burning everything so we can rejuvenate the soil for the next season. But we can't do that because we got to feed America. Depleted farmland and other natural resources, cultural traditions, okay, they cause someone to be undernourished. People eat the way they were taught. It's not genetics, people. It's not my mother got it, this is what I'm going to have. Don't speak that. It's the habits that she taught us. The habits of how to make gravy, my grandmother taught me. Put the giblet in there. Take the flour, make the roux, right? This is not something that God just put on you, right? Lack of sanitary water supplies, food distribution problems. So, we learned that a person can be both overnourished and undernourished. We focus on weight, okay? You never once heard me talk about weight. I hate talking about weight loss. It's not about I'm fat, I'm thin. It's about how I want to be nourished. Overnourished, they identify with obesity, but you can still be undernourished as well. Because how do we know you're absorbing nutrients? Okay, it's people doing all this kill your body fitness in the morning, right? You see it all on social media, kill my body, I'm going to exercise. But is your linings repaired? You're focused on the appearance part, appearance, right? You could be both overnourished and undernourished at the same time. You could be both obese and undernourished. You could be undernourished and unhealthy. You could be starving an obese person. Obese people could be starving. Starving is you're not absorbing. Okay, your body is lacking nutrients. Your body is in the same condition as a person in a third world country with no resources.
Wow.
So undernutrition happens in different ways. It's not just one way. Okay, people say be thankful we have all this food in America and we can eat the way we... No, this is killing food the same way that they have in their country. Okay? Seriously, it is. What you ate is not even food. Now, the first nutrient, we went through this already. Okay, we're focusing on carbs now, but we went through this already. We know our mouth, stomach, wasn't it mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. Remember that? Now, you have certain enzymes for this carb. Remember I told you carb digestion starts in your mouth. Okay? Because the enzyme's in the mouth. Wherever the enzyme is, that's where we start. Alright? That enzyme has its name, and it helps us break down the food. When I was a kid, I heard my mom say, they said if I chew my food real well, I lose weight. No, if you chew carbs, certain foods real well, it's not that you lose weight, it's that the enzymes work. So you do more breaking down here than here. You put less strain on this organ, this pancreas, to send you digestive enzymes, because you already did a lot of breaking down up here, so it's less work. Okay, we try to prevent a lot of work on the body. People don't think about the little organs. They just run around and eat and think about themselves, right? Now, we got people, we're not talking about diabetes yet, but this is the thesis for diabetes.
Right.
Okay, how to maintain proper blood glucose levels. Everybody, after they eat, the blood levels go up. 99. You check your blood,
Yeah.
you see the numbers? So over 99, elevated sugar. Okay, glucose is sugar. Anything ending in OSE means it's sugar. It's a sugar. Okay, these aren't bad things, but this is the sugar that the body sends to the bloodstream. The main sugar in our body. Not the fruit sugar, not the milk sugar. Everything turns into glucose. Remember? You understand? All the sugars we eat turn into this one. Okay? So this is the blood sugar. Yes. So after we eat, everyone's blood sugar is what? High. Now, that's a signal. Oh, the blood sugar is high. So the pancreas gets the signal. Your blood sugar is high. Pancreas says, I'm going to make insulin and send it over to the blood. Insulin does not lower the blood sugar. Insulin tells the cell, because it's a messenger, it's a hormone, right? I want you to write hormones are messengers. They just send a message. The mailman does not give you the bill. Does not create the bill, he gives it to you. Insulin does not directly lower the blood sugar. He tells the cells, open your mouth so the sugar can go inside. He tells the cells, open your mouth. Come on, everyone, open your mouth.
The pancreas.
Yes, no, the insulin.
No, the insulin.
The pancreas makes the insulin, sends it to the blood, and the insulin sends the signals throughout the body. Open your mouth. Oh, because your cells have mouths. There's mouths for all these different things. Mouths for water, mouths for certain vitamins. Open your mouth, take it in, the sugar's there. So now the sugar's going in the mouth, right? As the sugar goes into the cells, it says sugars enter cells, glucose enters cells. Now you see the blood starts to drop. The blood sugar starts to go down. Because now the sugar's going where? Inside the cells where they're supposed to go. You need sugar in your cells or you'll die. What happens when you don't have sugar in your cells? You feel lightheaded. You want to fall. This is the main source of energy, right? It's a carbohydrate. All right? So now your blood sugar is normal. Now we get a little lower. What happens when you go over 8 hours and you haven't eaten? Okay? Now we're in the fasting area because you went past 8 hours. Past 8 hours is fasting. Now, your blood sugar is too low. Who helps again? Pancreas. He says, oh, I got to make another hormone. Who's a what? Messenger. This hormone's going to say, okay, wherever we stored that glucose, now we got to take it out and send it back into the bloodstream. It reverses it. It's called glucagon. They give this med too. They shoot people up with glucagon and insulin. They're not directly doing it. They're just telling the cells. Okay? So we do store glucose. Glucagon tells the stored glucose, come out, don't store no more. Go back into the bloodstream so we can raise it up a little bit. We got to keep it level. Now we're back to normal, but look who else helps. The liver helps. And it says something here, amino acids. Protein. Did you know proteins turn into sugar? Okay? So if we didn't have any more storage, the proteins kick in. The liver says, okay, I'm going to turn some of this protein into glucose. Isn't it amazing? So I laugh when I hear people say, I'm on a low sugar diet. Because I'm like, your proteins can convert back into sugar. Okay? It's amazing. It's an amazing process. When you see the whole process, you go, how did that... Okay? It just takes pieces of the way it's configured and turns it into a sugar and sends it into your body. You can't avoid sugar. All right, everyone get this?
Yeah.
So, a diabetic.
Yeah.
What's the main thing here? The insulin's telling the cell.
Yeah.
The diabetic, the cell can't hear.
Yeah. Right.
It's called insulin-resistant cells, like a resistant child. I can't hear the signal, so we're going to give you artificial insulin so it can do the job. Make sense? All right. Now, the reason why the cell can't hear, sometimes the cell's too big. Okay, this is why they always say try to lose some weight, lose around here, your visceral fat, try to lose around here. If the cell's too big, it can be more insulin resistant. If the cell is smaller, as the cell decreases in size, the cell is sensitive to insulin. Big cells, resistant. Smaller cells are more sensitive, but that's not to say smaller cells can still have insulin-resistant cells. It's just, we just see this as better. Make sense?
I was gonna say, because you can lose weight and still. not-
Yes. Now, something I need to point out, a diabetic still makes insulin. Their cells just can't hear it. So here's the problem. As you're pumping out insulin and your cells can't hear it, the cells are going to keep pumping, your pancreas is going to keep pushing insulin because the blood sugar's still high and the cells can't hear it, right? So here, now you end up with a lot of insulin in your bloodstream, right? Let's go to the next one. Insulin does more than one thing. It doesn't just tell the cells to take in glucose so we can store it. This is the storage name. We store it as glycogen. Insulin does something else. It says store what else? Fat and protein. This is why the insulin problem is a problem, because we're not fixing the fact that the diabetic still makes their own insulin. They're still putting in their own insulin in the bloodstream. So they end up with something called hyperinsulinemia. Now they're producing more fat and protein. You produce all three. Okay? And so now you're putting fat where? It's not like you're doing it, trust me.
So
They're not fixing the core of the problem. The
Right.
core of the problem is your cell can't hear. How can we get the cells to hear?
Yeah.
Minerals, period.
Minerals.
There's one mineral that helps the cell hear the signal. 2, 3. The first one is sodium. Do we put them on, and this is, you could Google
Salt?
this. You can put, look at Wikipedia, it's sodium.
Are you,
Sodium actually takes the glucose to the cell.
are you saying salt? Salt?
Yeah, don't they give you crackers? Saltine crackers if your blood sugar low, don't they say take, they know these things because it's written in the procedures, the protocols. Those protocols come from a theory. And this is all in our dietitian stuff. This is all in there.
But they usually say high blood pressure is
Oh.
associated with diabetes.
That's the
and then you go
biggest-
low sodium.
Biggest lie that ever hit this planet
But I
is
still
salt.
eat
Is that
salt.
God
I eat
talks
my-
to you about salt, and
Right.
salt is not in a bad sense.
No.
So where do you have people that say, oh, I don't make insulin anymore? So some doctor told them that?
That's a different type of diet. Now, type 1 is completely different.
Oh, okay.
So this is type 2.
Oh, type
Insulin
two.
resistant.
So you said sodium, what were the other two things?
And eventually the type 1 gets so bad,
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
pancreas is not functioning. So
Yeah.
now you're on
Stephanie.
shots.
Oh, that's different.
So now we all understand insulin does 3 things. It helps you store sugar inside the cell, and then it also says store fat and protein.
Yeah.
And then now you learn proteins involved in turning yourself into glucose to help you out.
So
So now we know protein is insulinogenic, right? It helps promote insulin use.
okay.
All right, so this debunks all these diets that are out here. So I tell people, just go eat. The world will be over tomorrow and we over here dieting. I think about it like
I
that.
don't diet.
That's how I think about it. Come on now. Eat plants. The Genesis says, 127, eat plants, fruits, seeds. Everybody's over here eating everything in the middle of the aisle of the grocery store. It's simple. It's like no college degree necessary.
So you said that it stores the fat,
Mainly in the viscous
glycogen, protein,
Mhm.
and then it forms
The beer belly.
the stomach that I have.
And everyone gets it. And you may notice the weight loses in other areas too as time goes on.
Okay, so, and then you said, you mentioned the ways to help your cells to hear because we produce our own insulin.
You
Okay.
need your cells to hear. That's our goal. Chromium, no.
You said sodium. was
Magnesium.
one.
Magnesium is another one. I didn't bring it, the magnesium today.
Do take.
But there's a supplement, I think I mentioned it last time, called Calm. C-A-L-M. I
C
noticed
what?
in a lot of the C-A-L-M. You can order it off Amazon, be here tomorrow. And I noticed that Calm, and I saw this in some studies, Calm, it helps with a lot of issues. Magnesium has over 300 functions in the body. It participates in 300 reactions in the body. There's no way people are going to go through each of those reactions. Most of those reactions are mental and dealing with sugar issues. Okay? The cells need the magnesium. Most diabetics are magnesium deficient. Okay, so that tells you right there. The sweet tooth, when you start having a sweet, magnesium deficient. You go and eat you some chocolate, right? You're magnesium deficient. Chocolate is full of magnesium. I ate chocolate all week this week. I had a whole cake, to be honest. I said I did good on the holiday. I said I did good. I didn't touch none of the junk. I sat there and ate greens and everything, you know. And I went and got my Trader Joe little chocolate cake and killed it in one day. And I knew what I was doing. I was like, you need some magnesium. You are stressed out. So the magnesium calms the body. And you will notice the taste go away. I didn't want the taste to go away. I wanted to eat it. You do notice it. I have my students do it. School starts. They go, okay, Miss Henderson, I get extra credit, so they do it. And they notice. They said, I slept all night. I didn't want to eat any candy. Or it takes away, like,
Just
sugar.
the chocolate.
Sugar
No.
is a
Sweet.
sign
Oh,
of
sweet.
mineral deficiency.
Oh.
Most mineral, the main one you probably missing is magnesium.
So you said you can order on Amazon
There's no
magnesium or the calm?
Calm.
You can order on Amazon
Right.
Prime, type in calm, you see it's a container,
Okay.
and you can take that, you can drink as much as you want. However, in the beginning, you will notice calm if anyone that used to take the clear magnesium citrate that's at the grocery store. My grandma used to give it to us. It's a laxative. Magnesium does have laxative effects. If you keep taking it, you will notice your body gets used to it and you no longer have that runny stool issue, but it does happen in the beginning for like the first week. Okay. And excess insulin starts decreasing your hunger. Okay? It starts decreasing your hunger.
What?
Excess insulin being pushed in the bloodstream, but you will notice you're still forming fat.
Well, wait a minute, it decreases
Yes.
hunger?
Yes, as time goes on, you'll notice you're not as hungry. Okay, I've worked with diabetics who are older, and it's hard for them to eat. They have all this insulin in their bloodstream. You just keep taking the, you just keep, and you notice that I don't have an appetite, you gotta make them eat, so that they don't have low blood sugar or anything, right? The medication,
Any kind of chocolate will work?
no, dark.
Just dark.
Yeah, I had a dark chocolate. When I would eat junk, it's gonna be the best. Yeah,
So
it
you
was
can
dark.
go buy a Hershey's bar.
No, the real cocoa.
Oh, real.
A real cocoa is
You said no Hershey, no
no
almond
real
joy,
cocoa.
Snickers?
That's okay.
No, it's like a
but
brick.
you like to have the real dark chocolate, none of that milk stuff.
Oh, wow.
I don't
No,
promote
no,
any
no,
cut.
real chocolate.
Yeah, but
Like I
real
buy the
cocoa.
almonds with the dark chocolate.
Yeah, make sure. Yeah, dark chocolate. That's fine. Raw almonds, no salted, roasted, nothing.
No, they not roasted. or
Yeah,
something. They
don't
just
patronize
roasted.
anybody's roasted, salted, nothing.
No.
Just raw, everything. And the dark chocolate almonds are addicting. They even have dark chocolate espresso beans.
No, yeah.
Right, they are addicted and I buy it. That's what I do.
All right. Most of our diet, as you can see, is full of carbs. How do you get away from it?
Bag
A
of
carb is a fruit, vegetable, milk, dairy product. All the vegetables, all those are carbs. Fibers are carbs. Okay? Starches are carbs. How are we going to avoid that? The animal's eating the carb. People eating the animal. Talking about low carb diet. I'll be laughing. I go, how are you going to do that when your pig just ate all that? Or your chicken just ate a bunch of corn in their chicken feed? That's no nutrients. Okay? Real chicken, this lady I go visit,
I like bacon.
she had, before her farm was burned down through the Paradise Fires last year, her chickens, those eggs didn't look like the eggs in the grocery store. All her chickens, those eggs were orange. And I was actually eating. I was like, what are you feeding them? They said, we feed them the good stuff. Her husband is Cuban, so everything was kind of raw. I was like, what are you feeding that poor chicken? He said, said, no, they can eat that. They weren't eating chicken feed. I just know the eggs were good. And she's how old is Donna? 91 now. And she do Tai Chi. She worked, her husband young.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, he's 80. And you know how she go, I'm about to get my hair done. You would never think. She's my hero. Simple sugar. So I'm just going to go through this really quickly. I'm just going through this to show you what carbs are, sugars. Okay, this is one type of carb, the simple sugar. The one, and why do we call it simple? Because you don't have to know this, but look how it's made. Look, a simple sugar is one molecule, one. So it's simple. So once it goes in your body, you feel it right away. The digestion process is quick. Okay, this is why as soon as someone has low blood sugar and they're diabetic, you give them what? Juice, or candy, or because it's simple sugar. Okay, everyone get that? We call it simple because of the way it's made. Okay, disaccharides, 2 sugar molecules, still simple, 2 sugar molecules, go quick. Look, sucrose. Sucrose is table sugar. CNH. How fast we feel that right away? Okay, milk sugar, lactose, we feel that right away. Okay, these are all sugars. I'm trying to debunk the carb myth. Low carb, which one? Right? Which one? You mean no sucrose? How about a no table sugar diet? Or, but you can't say low carb. And then we got another carb, complex. Why do we call them complex? Because of the way they're made. They have a lot of different of those chains. You see the one sugar? They have 10 or more. They look like a pearl necklace, literally. Okay? These are our starches and fibers. Okay? Complex are starches and fibers. A diabetic that eats that notices their blood sugar doesn't raise right away. You eat a potato, you notice your blood sugar won't raise right away because it's a complex carb. It takes a long time for the body to break it down, and as it's doing that, it's putting the sugar inside the bloodstream. It doesn't do it right away. Make sense? Because it's complex.
Is it a certain way now, like French fries compared to a baked potato?
The oil, the whole fat thing. Okay, French fries cooked in oil. Oil's bad for us, right? That's what they say. In my head, I don't see the difference, but just the oil. In my head, fat is not the enemy. It's which oil you used, right? If you're baking the potato, it's a plant, so it's okay. Now, you see what I'm saying?
Can I just say
The meat,
this?
and now if it was just fried meat,
Okay.
carcinogen.
Then the cheeseburger and the French fries.
Yeah, see, now that's a problem. Because
Yeah.
now you have meat inside the bread.
Right.
Now we have 2 different digestive processes going on, right? Meat and the starch. Which one first? Your body gonna be doing this for the first 2 hours, and then while you doing that, you're like, right? And then 3 days later, now you're just now working on that. Seriously.
3 days later. Yeah.
So if you have a protein, like say a meat or something and a vegetable, you should actually eat the whole thing of one first?
Yes. We were taught
And not
no,
mix,
plate.
not mix our foods like that.
No, it looks the American way. We're taught. It's embedded in the system. Okay, where did hamburger come anyway?
So I thought they said y'all always have a vegetable and starch meat.
Yeah, they
No,
said that.
and that's what they taught me. And I don't show people none of that. And I tell them not. I'm a consultant. I don't work for anyone.
So if you eat dinner, what do you want to eat?
And you know they have the My Plate. Michelle Obama just implemented the My Plate. So there's a plate and it tells you all these things. I said, that don't mean we have to put it all on one plate. It just says a plate and this is everything that we should be putting on a plate. But it doesn't have to be at the same time. Okay, it's gonna make me tired. That's not science. That's advertising. That's advertising a belief. Whose belief is that based on? It's not based on science. Because science, you just saw where the protein and starches start. And there's an old doctor, no one's paying attention, Dr. Hay, who created all this stuff, and that's not, that plate is a lie. The hamburger's a lie. Now, I like hamburgers, but I eat mine different. Nobody come over my house.
Lettuce.
Yeah, I put that stuff on.
I mean,
I use sprouted stuff, the sprouted bread, and it's good to me. The kids like it. My son actually prefers the sprouted bread.
Where you get that at?
The source.
Ralph's has some of it, but
Probably
not
Trader
all
Joe's,
Ralph's.
don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't have the, they have the loaf. But Ralph's has a lot of the Ezekiel products.
Oh, Ezekiel, yeah.
Yeah, I use that.
Okay.
I love that stuff. That stuff is good. And then now when
What
it's
is
sprouted,
that the main brand?
yeah, it has the scripture on
Like the
there.
scripture, yeah.
Okay, the fiber. See the different types of fibers? Insoluble and soluble. How do you know which one? Soluble is the inside of the fruit. All these words.
Oh,
Inside
yeah.
of the fruit.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
The ones that we can make gel and jams with.
Yeah, okay.
That's how I do it. Pectins and gums, they make jelly. Okay? Insoluble fibers help you push food through the GI tract. Soluble fibers help you lower cholesterol. Your cholesterol problem. You said you had high cholesterol. You just saw the problem. What's the problem? You need to eat more what?
Apples, bananas.
Now, we're not going to eat them all at the same time because now it's too sweet, right? We're not going to make a smoothie. We're going to eat an apple and then we're going to eat a banana, right? I
So
probably
is
eat like
that
10
good to
bananas a
create
day.
smoothies like that?
You eat 10 bananas?
I probably eat some. I don't know why.
That's
Lately,
only all the
my
potassium.
body is really, I go off what I want. So I've been eating a whole bunch of
I
bananas like
used
a
to
monkey.
eat bananas, but then I started getting a big old tummy.
Probably slow the digestion down. See? Delays stomach empty. You see that? But then this one speeds up. Now there are some times where people need to delay their stomach emptying because they have issues. So we got to delay it so we give them more soluble fibers. Like my grandmother, we give her soluble fiber. A lot of papaya, applesauce, you know, we don't want it coming out. It could be damaging the poop so much. So you got to slow it down. Okay, so you want to lower some cholesterol, that's your issue, not the pill. And it works. And you know what? And I show you the process of how it does it. Maybe that's why I'm eating so much, who knows? I don't really think about it. I just eat the banana. I had literally like 8 bananas in the last 2 days.
And is that gonna make your
I
potassium
haven't eaten
high?
anything. I just wanted the bananas.
Will you have high potassium?
Who cares about that? It goes down the next day. You know what? I order labs. I order labs for people. And they go, she has high potassium. Everybody alert. Can you come? She could die. She's a renal patient. She's on dialysis. Okay. Let's do another order. 2 days later, the thing went down. I said, what are we focused on? You guys know the stuff fluctuates.
Yeah.
You know, I said, okay, it's high. She's not going to die. You know, it's just so,
But the
It
doctor
goes
has,
down the next day.
It's too high, you're too low. you
because
make
I have
your
to
heart
monitor, I
attack.
have to do something with the high potassium. For a renal patient, it can cause a heart issue.
Yeah.
Like, they could literally die. But I've seen a lady just not care, and she's still here.
that's why they said the bananas have too much sugar in them.
But banana is not high in potassium.
It's not.
No. You got dark green vegetables. You got, it's all other types of stuff, but it's not the highest.
Yeah, it's not.
Not at all. It's low. I don't know who put that on the banana. It don't have that much. Banana keeps me from passing out when
That's
I'm
why I
hungry.
stopped
That's all I
eating.
know is sugar.
But
I
they
slow
make
down.
me happy.
All right. We have different, so now you know it delays gastric emptying. So the soluble fiber slows it down. That's probably why you felt that. Slowed it down. So what we gotta do, pick it back up. Go eat some roughage, right?
So the insoluble is the rough.
Roughage. The soluble is the soft stuff. So you could take the inside of the apple and you could boil it down just a little, steam it, and soften it up. You know, my granddad does it, makes my grandma applesauce. They don't really buy. They just learned about buying that stuff when we told them that they were doing it.
So beans will bloat you.
Huh?
Beans will bloat you.
Unsoaked beans will bloat you.
Unsoaked beans.
So you activate everything.
Yeah.
You make them active and alive so we can be living and not be soaked and bloated and somewhere sitting somewhere hurting. Okay, but make sure I soaked my black-eyed peas last week of 2 days. I just kept adding water until they opened because they wouldn't open. Something's wrong. They're not opening,
Yeah, right.
right? So I wanted to see the little sprout before I threw them in the pot. Ate the whole thing in one day.
Oh, so you should see the sprout come out before you cook.
That's why
sister went and bought these big fat beef bones and cooked them, slow cooked them for a couple of days, and then we're trying to heal our linings around the house.
Yeah, see, Dr. Rabb told me that all these years, I never knew why my mom was so big, right? And so he said it's because when you soak it, it takes that outer shell, that like you said, that the bean softens, where it's sproutable.
Right.
And that's where the stage you want it to be at.
Right. You want to eat food that's a living. We want a live food.
Right.
Anything dead, we put it on as a little side dish. Like, you enjoy, like I said, getting my little sliced beef salad. I love that thing. I eat it like 3 times a month. But that's on the side, in addition to everything else, right? It's not my entree. That thing will wilt in the refrigerator for 2 days once I'm done with it, because I'm only going to eat this much.
So you don't eat the beef and the salad together, do you?
The way she makes it, she puts onions and garlic and lettuce and then puts some rice vinegar on it and has peppers, and then she puts the meat on slices of meat. So I only eat a portion. I only bought that whole $10 thing just to eat a little bit, and it wilts in the
Can I
refrigerator.
ask you something? You know what, since I got older, I can't eat no forms of rice.
Yes, you have to heal your linings, because there's probably some little holes in there, a leaky gut somewhere. Do you have joint pains in your knees?
I do.
Yeah, and a lot of that is digestive. Once you heal the linings, you'll be able to eat the rice. Give it like 6, 9 months.
Can you heal
It'll
the
go
nerve?
away.
Can you heal your nerves, your nervous system? You know, because when you have...
You could do a more prevention and re-heal them.
Oh, okay.
If the nerves is picky, it's difficult. They say, there's some studies that say like the coconut oil, there are some studies saying coconut oil heals nerves. Even Dr. Rabb was telling someone like a couple of years ago, go eat it, literally eat it. Take the coconut oil and scoop it, put the stuff raw, don't cook with it, go blow your nose, I hate that. Put it in your mouth, literally eat it with a spoon. But yeah, fat heals nerves, okay? Low fat is the worst thing you could have ever told people. All right, so we got 4 different types of fats. You guys seen some of these on your labs. Triglycerides, right? Oh, my triglyceride levels are high. You know where they come from? Sugar, okay? Sugar turns into glycogen, the storage, right? And then the glycogen stores, something I was just about to say. Simple sugars, okay? The lactose, the ones with the one molecule, the simple sugars, table sugar. The more you keep storing the glycogen, you store fats as well. Which fats? Remember I said the more you keep increasing the insulin, you store fat? This is the fat that you store. So if you're a diabetic and your triglycerides are high, which most likely they are on the high end, this is the one. So every time I see someone has high triglycerides, I tell myself they either drink or they have a high sugar diet or maybe they're a long-term diabetic. Those 3. Okay? For high triglycerides. High cholesterol. They have high cholesterol. Usually it's not eating enough fiber. It's not the cholesterol. Your body makes it. How are you going to get rid of it? The fiber blocks. The fiber makes your liver take cholesterol from the artery and make bile. Your liver takes cholesterol from the artery, make bile. Take cholesterol from the artery. The more you're taking, the less cholesterol is up there. So the key to that, fiber. Fiber makes your liver take cholesterol from the artery and make bile.
Now, is bile the same thing they had to do with the gallbladder?
Yes, the storage. The one that you use to take the grease off, the detergent, yes. Okay. Unused bile, usually the unused bile inside your your small intestine, once the bile goes there and takes the grease off, we poop that out. It keeps going. The proper way. Now, if you're watching Super Bowl and you're doing nothing but eating junk food, it's going to recycle.
That's why you should.
Can you imagine recycling bile your whole life? Let me show you a picture. Let me show you this picture. I know I that show, Vermont Avenue, people got mad. One of the ladies, Sister Sellers. So you mean to tell me? She got mad. My friend. She tell me all the time, but Val, what is wrong with me? Okay. When you take the bite, okay, let's start from the beginning. You eat some fat, right? You're chewing it all up, and we got enzymes up here, right? We go through the esophagus, we go to our stomach. Now we're in the small intestine. The enzyme can't break it apart because it's slippery, right? So we got to have bile. So the gallbladder gives us bile. We take the grease off. Now the enzyme can go through and break it apart. What happens to the bile? It's just sitting there? No. It goes to the end of the small intestine. But say you keep eating fat. Say you got fat, because bile is only needed for fat digestion. But say you watching the game and you eat chicken and beer the whole time. Say you just doing it nonstop. Say you never ate a vegetable. The bile is not going to keep going to the large intestine. The liver is going to say, I don't have time to keep going to the artery, taking more cholesterol. I have to do a shortcut. Here's the shortcut. Take the old bile, send it back to the liver. Liver takes the recycled bile. Take the old bile, turn it into new bile, send it back. Old bile, new bile, now we're going down. Wow. Recycling. We are recycling paper in our body. Can you imagine that? Wow. Now, what happens when you're recycling? What's storing? The cholesterol. Because the liver's job is to take the cholesterol from the artery, turn it into bile, send it to your small intestine. That sounds a little long, right? Take the cholesterol from the artery. You guys hear me? Take the cholesterol from the artery, take the cholesterol, turn it into bile, send it to the small intestine, and take the grease off. That's the pathway. But when we're recycling, we're not taking cholesterol from the artery, we're just storing. You see what I'm saying?
You just storing cholesterol.
We're just storing cholesterol.
That's why
We're shortcutting. We're not making the new bile from cholesterol. We're making new bile from old bile.
Oh.
So how am I make?
And people do this for years.
So how am I gonna make?
So what stops the process? That's your question. What stops this process? Soluble fiber, period. You meet someone like me, I tell you, okay, you want your beer, but some people can't stop it. I don't try to, that's your job. But you have to eat it with vegetables.
Yeah.
So you just can't eat apples always.
No. But understand, the vegetables, they are roughage, but they also have soluble components on them. So most vegetables have soluble and soluble connected.
So what are the
So
best
you're killing two birds with one stone. You're pooping and you're lowering cholesterol.
What's the best vegetable?
The best one, all of them. They all work in unison. Even this human body. I can't take your heart out and say, now lungs work. The lungs and heart work like brother and sister. And then the liver and the heart work like cousins.
Because they had said if you eat avocados.
Yeah, it works in unison. Now understand, vegetables have color on them, right? They have antioxidants on there, which are things to help you from getting sick. And they shield you. So you got to eat all of them. Now there's vegetables I do not like that, and it's not a vegetable, sorry. Eggplant is a fruit. There are fruits I don't like. Yes, it has a seed. Okay, I cannot eat an eggplant, but I eat it because I need to, because it has purple on the outside and it has good stuff that I need in it.
So do you eat it raw?
No, I steam it. You steam your vegetables, you don't want to cook them. And I put it in curries to mask it, so I don't have to see it. That thing makes me want to puke. All right? But you got to eat it all in one. That's very important. Just like the organs. I was taught every organ has a system. No, the whole body is one system.
So if I eat more salad, it would help my
Different
cholesterol.
types of vegetables in that salad. Can't just be a salad. It needs to be specific. If I eat more vegetables, I will notice and you will notice it clear as day, your cholesterol goes down. If you do every plate, just the main thing, what most people say, what are we going to eat for dinner? And they think of the meat. No, change that.
Right.
What are we eating for dinner? I think of the vegetables I feel like eating. I tell myself, I want no more cabbage. I want no more greens. I just ate that last week. I did. I ate kale all last week. So I'm like, what vegetable do I want today? right? And then you build around it. Now what grains can I add with that? Now what other proteins can I put with that? You want a variety, okay? Then I love the herbs and the seasonings. I love my iodine, my kelp. Throw all that stuff on top, all right? But you have to start building with the plants, okay? So fats, we went over fats. Here's as I told you earlier, triglycerides, fats is a source of energy. The fat that's a source of energy is the one you see every day. The one you see every day is the one you see in your lab, the triglyceride. That's the one in your fat cell making it go bigger or smaller, okay? Now, not much has changed since the 80s and 2000s. Fats, not in the 80s, 54 pounds a year people were eating. 2062, we still got heart disease. Is fat the problem? It ain't much of a big issue. Same type of intake. It's similar. Fat is not the problem. It's what the animal's eating that's the problem. Okay? It's eating extra carb, which is giving us that omega-6, too much of that one. Okay? It's causing too much of the fats that we can't have too much of. We have to keep the balance. Omega-6 is good for us, but excess of it now is attacking you.
What if you eat a lot of fish?
Now, fish is okay, but where's the fish coming from? And what did it eat? See,
Some out the water.
See? Now the fish, now you gotta
But
look at the
nobody's
ocean.
eating it.
The ocean has algae in it, right? And then we got something called phytoplankton, which I heard as a kid but never cared. Phytoplankton is omega-3. It's the best fat you can ever eat. Good for your brain, your nerves. I Googled what fishes eat phytoplankton. Google it. That's the one you want.
They fiber what?
Phytoplankton. P-H.
Wait a minute.
Look at what these fishes are eating.
So it's
P-H-Y-T-O, plankton. P-L-A-N-K-T-O-N.
Now that's the fish I should want to eat.
You want to eat whoever eats him. Because phytoplankton is a plant.
Okay.
It's
I
green.
just- I
This
just-
little
I just
green
Googled.
in the ocean, like the anchovies. I can tell you, anchovies, sardines, salmon. Salmon don't eat phytoplankton, but it's something else that they have in them. They have a lot of omega-6, a lot of omega-3, okay? But it needs to have bones and skin. What's the skinless generation? Bones and skin. Would you want to, if you take the bones out of yourself, would you have any minerals? Where's your calcium? Okay, all of our minerals are in the bones. So when they rip the animal and I wrote Trader Joe's and said, I want my sardines. This is all I can eat for lunch now. I can't eat much. You guys are flooding the store with garbage. I want sardines with skin and bones. I want salmon with skin and bones. There is sardines with skin. I don't know if it's because of my letter, but I was upset. You're a health
with the
store.
bones in them.
They have sardines with skin and bone now sold for $135, and it's cheaper than the other one because you don't have to process it. So it's cheaper. Just throw the sardine in the can and give it to me.
Crown Prince is boneless. It's like out of convenience.
So what is your nutrients? Ain't nothing in it.
So you eat the bones?
Yes.
Okay.
Chop it up. And even the fish. My uncle married a Chinese lady, and she says, "Save that. No, go put that in there and save the bones. I make stew and stock." That's how she gets all her minerals and stuff. So you gotta have.
So what about when you have salmon in the can and mackerel in the can?
Nothing in the can.
Well,
Yeah,
sardines is, we can't avoid everything, but the sardines is in the can, right? The anchovies is in there, you can find it without the extra salt in it. I eat it, but I make sure it say wild caught on it
Yeah.
to make it a little bit better. But those come with skin and bones, the ones in the can, right? When I make my salmon croquette, I see the skin and bone. I
Yeah.
take all that. I don't take it out for them.
No, I
You're stupid if you chew it.
yeah, that's why I was wondering if that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. But the salmon in the store, the fresh stuff, which I like, it has to have skin and bone. I'm not eating that. Skin, if you're eating some meat without skin and bone, then that means you're taking the skinless and you're putting that carcass right on the fire and now you're tearing the meat apart. It's nothing in there for you. All right? People that eat chicken that way, all that skinless stuff and chopping it up on salad, that ain't healthy. There ain't nothing in it. It's nothing in it. What's the point of eating it if there's nothing in it, right? It's like watching something that's not edifying. What is it doing for me? Yeah, what is in it? It's nothing. Why are we getting rid of the fat? I don't get that. There's no theory behind that. Fat is not killing anyone. They're not eating vegetables.
Because
We
fat
just-
burns fat.
Huh?
Fat burns fat.
Well, I always taught you.
It don't even matter what burns what. I just know fat is good for my nerves.
Okay.
And if I did a series on, it has to be a series on I'm going into mental health. I think I'm going to focus on mental health the rest of my life. Mental health, which will help with the malnutrition issue, because that's what we're seeing. And this low-fat epidemic is killing people.
Wow.
And the mental health is connected to the gut health, so it's all the same. Now, someone was talking about high blood pressure. Okay, you see the plaque?
Yes.
Okay, this is coming from most of this plaque, a lot of it is triglycerides. There are studies saying most of the plaque is from triglycerides. And where do we get that? Simple sugars. Eating a lot of those simple sugars, it forms into this fat. Why? How do we get fat in there? From sugar, insulin. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay, excess insulin, we store fat. Okay, look what we're storing and stuff. Okay, and then you start seeing this little clot is stuck. He's stuck. He's not called like a moving clot yet. He's called a thrombus. Okay, I see a lot of people get diagnosed with that. When you see that, just know you got big chunks sitting on the plaque and you got to fix it. Okay, no medicine's gonna dissolve it. Understand it doesn't. It's just keeping you from feeling the effects. Okay. Because people really cry and think, oh, I thought I was taking my medications. They really believe that it was fixing it, and doctors are doing them and they give them the writings and the medications, but they need to go over it with them and let them know. But if they did that, who's gonna buy it, right?
Yep.
Because it says it clear as day. You can't see it. Okay, and then once it comes off of the plaque, now it's moving. Now it's an embolus. Now it's an issue. Because if that gets stuck in these carotid arteries or a pulmonary artery, now you can have a pulmonary attack or some type of stroke or a heart attack.
So to remove plaque, you
Eat
have
some vegetables.
vegetables. My thing is vegetable problem.
And it's all come back to the plant-based way.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I didn't say vegan. I didn't say vegetarian. I know a lot of people not eating meat, but they don't eat vegetables.
What are they?
They're eating more of the starches, but they're not eating more of the rice, the leafy greens.
The pop is
Okay.
backward.
It's the pasta's not even a food. Unfortunately, it's not. Now, if you want to eat that, there's something called Banza, B-A-N-Z-A, Banza noodles. Those are from chickpeas. And you can feel guilt-free and eat them all day. Now, I love spaghetti and they never going nowhere. So Banza, Banza.
And those are noodles?
And they're made from chickpeas, so they're not like regular noodles.
So do you cook them and eat them or you eat them
You can cook them and do what you usually do. Don't worry, it's a chickpea, so it's a protein. So it's not like you're eating starch and, see, spaghetti is starch and meat. This is protein, right? So you take the spaghetti sauce, which has, you guys put meat in it, and then you have the Banza, which is chickpeas. So now there's two proteins you're eating together.
So the bands.
Now you don't have to worry about no flour,
It's a pop with chickpea.
but it's with chickpeas, which is protein,
So where
not
do you get
starch.
it from though?
Huh?
Joe?
No, they have it at Ralph's.
They have it in
Yeah.
And it's just called banzo noodles?
Banza, B-A-N-Z-A. So you see the theory? Protein and protein, it'll digest similar. We're not tired, because I ate a whole, I used to have an eating disorder, so everything I binge. So to fix it, you can't fix this type of stuff. You don't fix habits, you just change them, right? You don't get cured, so I binge on everything, so I eat the whole pot of that. And I don't get tired.
But you can still mix it with the spaghetti sauce?
Yeah, because the spaghetti sauce is just a sauce, And then the noodles aren't starch. It's a protein because it's chickpeas. So it's protein, so you're okay. And then I make them the big old salad that they dread, whatever. And then I make coleslaws with mine. Everything's a coleslaw because I grind everything. Because like you, I can't handle, before I couldn't handle rice. So after I couldn't handle the rice, I started grinding everything. Even after I repaired, I grind everything. So it's coleslaw. And you can take the vegan eggs and mix it with apple cider vinegar, add some maple syrup, a little bit, and then maple syrup and mix it. It makes the best coleslaw you ever had. And then take the noodles with the enzyme, you can throw that on top, put the sauce on. It's excellent.
You can use ragu sauce?
I mean, I try to keep my stuff with the ingredients of like 2. So if we look on the back of the ragu, how many ingredients is the back of it?
Some of the names you can't even pronounce.
If you can't pronounce it, don't eat it. I got to that point. I had to look all this stuff up for some company, and I was like, squash it. I told the parent, don't eat it. It's
So
too
do you
much.
make your own spaghetti sauce then?
You can if you want. I like the San Marzino tomatoes. You can get my grandma just takes tomato sauce and throws it on. We used to say, ew, but I started doing kind of what she did and just season it myself.
That's what my mom right.
Yeah, they used to say, but mommy don't make it that way. Well, this is how I make it.
Tomato paste.
Now, understand, I also have to point out before I think I'm almost done, I understand that hypertension means your arteries are already hard. Most people think it's just like, oh, I just take a med, it's not a heart attack or nothing, so I'm fine. No, you have arteriosclerosis prior, and that means your arteries are already hardened. There's no flexibility. It's like an uncooked noodle. It's dehydrated because there's no flexibility, right? It's dehydrated. Everyone get that?
Yeah.
Okay? Because a lot of this is from dehydration, and now it's hypertension. So understand, the heart and artery came first, and now it's hypertension. There's no blood flow in that area.
I thought that's what they called high blood pressure was hypertension.
High blood pressure is,
So they're not the same.
they're not the same.
Okay.
High blood pressure is, the more plaque build up, now you're reducing the pressure. See the pathway coming through?
Yes.
So if you take a water hose and stick your foot on it, is the pressure gonna go back? That's exactly what's going on in the artery.
Gotcha. And so.
Is that why you have to take the high blood pressure medicine?
What is that doing?
I don't know.
To this day, I write the same meds all day. I mean, my hands be so hurt. And I go, okay, so he took him off this one and put him on another statin. And then this statin caused gout. Now he got gout. Now we got a chain of new diagnoses in 3 months. So it doesn't fix a problem. It just helps eliminate a little pressure, but it's not curing you.
So there's no way we can help high blood pressure?
You vegetables.
Vegetables.
You gotta keep, like I tell myself, I love fat. I would turn up a coconut oil and drink the whole thing. It's not storing in there, but then what about the chocolate cake I ate and made the insulin and put the fat in my artery, right? So what will be my solution this week?
To drink vegetables.
I wanna go, you guys, this is how I'm fixing myself, right? Instead of puking like I used to and get rid of it, no, you go eat you some vegetables. And so now I gotta make meals for the week and say, how am I gonna get the kids to eat like and then we're all gonna eat a bunch of vegetables because I ate an entire cake last week.
But I eat vegetables, that's why I can't understand.
Eat tons of them. Eat more. Eat a variety. Eat summertime. Eat some tropical fruits. Okay?
This week
Eat
I ate
some.
blueberries.
You probably don't even have it. You're black.
Don't have
So
water.
you probably don't even have this stuff. And the pressure go up once you go into the doctor anyway. They know this. Once pressure goes up, it's natural.
That's what I told them when I was living
This
there.
stuff is, you're black. They told me you're an African-American woman. You may have gestational diabetes. I don't have that.
And they want you to take medicine with 140
I don't
over
have that. I
80.
haven't even touched a piece of meat this whole pregnancy.
Do you need medicine with 140 over 80?
You don't need none of that. You just need to eat vegetables. Pressure builds up. It could be nerve damage, stress. Take a bowel movement. Watch the pressure go down. A lot of the pressure's here, and it's pushing on other things.
Yeah.
I just can't believe in this. So if you guys want to look at the blood, I pressure like we did 3 times a day, he still died. So, is the blood pressure a real indicator of health? Right?
Yeah, that's just
We
like
know
the
this,
stat.
we just have to do it for indicators for Medi-Cal, Medicare.
Yeah, just like they got us,
Just like
lawsuit
weight.
about the statin,
Mhm.
saying it was turning women into type 2 diabetics.
See?
But they're still pressuring you, talking about the plaque.
Eat vegetables.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, you build calcium deposits. A lot of times you build calcium deposits taking all these supplements. There's some, you shouldn't be taking calcium supplements. I don't recommend them. Don't do it. You eat the moringa. I bring food to you so you can eat food, you know. But the supplements, excess calcium, it causes plaque buildup in soft tissues, kidneys, arteries. Okay, these are soft tissue buildup from over excessive calcium in the body. Okay?
I noticed you said something earlier, but you said it several times, that you don't eat, you don't take capsules.
I don't like to because I used to abuse them.
Okay.
So for me, I mean, I can't tell you what I've done. I should be dead. Like, some days I didn't wake up. My roommate used to be like, Valerie, wake up. I was on something. I don't take capsules because it reminds me of some stuff. But I also don't like to give people capsules because they're coated, even if they're coated in Dr. Rab's nice and healthy stuff, I don't know if they have enough stomach acid and mucus in there to help open up this thing. So if I don't know, I tell you to open the capsule and sprinkle it in the drink. Because we can't know everything that's going on in there, but we just need to know, what I told you today, my linings have to stay healthy.
Okay.
So I can think, move, and function, or else I'm not absorbing anything I eat. Okay? So you can open up these things, because I can't do an assessment and tell you, but I can tell you if you feel tired after you eat, your linings need to be repaired, and your diet needs to change. If you eat plants, this is the end. Excess protein, animal protein does damage your kidney. Okay, a lot of people don't understand that if you do this keto stuff and these paleo diets and all this stuff, even if they're eating it with vegetables and eliminating the starch and stuff, you can damage your kidneys with excess animal protein. Because this number, this word up here, ammonia, NH3, comes from protein, animal protein, and when it breaks it apart with the enzyme, the body says, now what are we going to do with this side and this side? The ammonia portion goes to urine. The other portion goes to make sugar. Isn't that amazing? Because protein turns into sugar as energy source. Or it can turn into a carb. It could be a carb, or it could turn into a fat. It could be either or. We use protein for either or. But the ammonia portion goes to pee. Who makes the urine? Liver. Liver makes the urea, sends it to the kidney to make urine. When people have dialysis issue, I say you have a liver issue. You weren't peeing in the first place. So it's a liver problem, because who makes the urea? The liver. You know, we focus on the wrong stuff.
So the ones that's on dialysis that doesn't pee anymore.
A lot of them need to do liver detoxes and get some poop out of them too. Okay? I know a guy who didn't do any of the cleansing, but he did just stick with no other beverages other than alkaline water. He is now peeing. And he's on also an antibiotic Dr. Rab makes. He just did that in the water because he said, I can't change my diet, I'm sorry.
So we need to
You know.
drink alkaline water?
He did that and he pees now. I said, then why are you going back to the dialysis? He said, I don't know. They said I should still keep going. I said, stop, you pee. You see the fear?
Okay, so should we drink alkaline water?
Alkaline water is good because it keeps your body in some form of, it helps improve the pH of the body
So
to
pH
maintain
9.5
your body.
or 7 or 6.5?
Your body maintains its own pH. It tries to maintain a balance of 7. It has to be at 7. Most people say alkaline water raises it above 7. That's not possible. Not when you have the kidney and the lungs working together to make sure it's at a 7. Okay?
9.5
You
is
can drink
too much.
11.5 alkaline water. You want to keep your body at a balance. It's gonna balance itself. You just don't want it low, because all the diseases live at the bottom.
Okay.
Every disease, most of them live in acidity. Okay? So this morning I woke up and alkalized my body. Apple cider vinegar, that remedy is to alkaline the body. It is an acid substance, but once it's inside, it is alkaline. That's why you take away the joint pains and it helps use the bathroom, all these little things people say it does, because it alkalizes the body. I had to alkalize my body. I've been damaging all week.
Will it make too much, we get acid with the?
The alkaline, the apple cider vinegar is not acid once it gets in here.
But one time,
You have to mix it with water though.
Yeah, one time it was stripping my throat, because I guess I wasn't mixing in enough water with it.
Yeah, and I always warm it, make a hot glass,
Oh my God.
and I warm it, and then I boil water, then I add it.
Do you add any honey or anything with
No,
it?
How much you put in?
I don't know, I just,
Probably 2 caps.
and yeah, no, I kind of do a little bit more. Okay, so this is the end. Thank you, I'm so glad I got through this. Okay, this is the end. I didn't even tell you everything, but I figure I'll do that another time.
Yeah,
This
come back.
is gold right here.
I got that chart.
Yeah, this is it. Someone just told me, and I told him we don't focus on weight loss, and he said, Valerie, I just lost 16 pounds, because he's really big, and he said, and I was just following the food chart. And it basically just tells you how to combine these things, because we just learned digestion.
Right.
Everything is breaking down in different parts, that's why we're tired. So, if you make a smoothie, you're not going to add acid and sweet together. You know, leave the jungle juice alone. When I go there, I tell you what I want. This is what you're going to do. You're going to give me this, but take this out, and they go, but it's just going to be, I said, that's all I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I just custom
Yogurt,
everything.
ice
That's
cream.
that.
And that's what we
You
all.
trying to make me tired? I'm sugar sensitive too. I can't be tired.
One acid, one sweet.
And then subacid, acid. Okay, it's okay, but not all the time.
So
Okay?
you have that chart, Ron?
You can actually you can Google it and actually print it.
It may be for, what do you call it? Hazy, when you get it off of Google.
Yeah.
They sell it on Amazon. I saw one for $9 and one for $30.
Because I went to the doctor and I got that chart, so I'll make you that chart.
Okay.
Yeah, make some color. You have color?
Well,
Yeah, you want the color. And then you see melons. You see melons are, you see the melons are by themselves. So you see people been eating melons wrong the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay, people been making bowls and they add melons in there. Stay away from all that. Make your own fruit bowls. You know, it makes you gassy.
What did you say about milk?
And a melon ain't even a melon, that's a berry.
It's just like that. Just Google. It's on there.
What you say about the milk?
They're by themselves.
You eat them by themselves.
You do not mix that.
See, so like one of the biggest smoothies that they come out with is bananas and strawberries. And that is the worst food
And I know it's
combination.
good, isn't it?
I know.
I know it's good, but you cannot think about energy, you know?
They can put the yogurt,
I'm
bananas.
past that stage, I'm happy, that was a lot
So that's a no-no.
for me.
Well,
Yeah,
it's food combining.
Right.
yeah. Yeah, so Dr., whatchamacallit over there, yeah, this is Dr. Hayes. Dr. Hayes, the guy that created the food combining and taught us about digestion, wrote all these books, this is his theory. He was laughed at too, but it helps.
Yeah, it does.
And he's a nutritionist?
I think he was a medical doctor, Dr. Hayes. This is years ago, like 40s, 30s, 40s.
So like when you have sub-acid fruits, you can mix those fruits together.
Yes, in their own category. But see, for digestive purposes, just eat this stuff separate. You know, when you walk around the house eating, Penny know go eat some of this and go eat some of that. You know, we eat some plate around here. Somebody came home You know, you don't have to put this stuff in bowls, and you know how we like to assemble everything. You can eat the apple, then wait a couple of minutes, go eat some grapes.
Right.
You know, it doesn't all at one time. Just think of the organs doing everything at one time, the shedding. Just think I just taught you something where you could think this is what these organs are doing all day.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you're gonna need to stop. No eating today. Let me give the body a break. Let's just drink some water.
Yeah, she said like a bird.
Let's just drink some water and you can squeeze an orange to get the sugar so you can have the energy a little bit for the day. But don't you want to make it sleep sometimes? Okay, I will do a series on detoxing and intermittent fasting because I think Vermont asked for that for April.
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah, Joyce Jones, when I first met her in 2005, I was not thinking about getting into this. I was trying to get into vet school. I was trying to get into vet school, and she pulled me to the side at a service that she was visiting and said, honey, your face, what are you doing? I was binging and purging and all, and taking stuff, and I wasn't interested in this. And she said, you need to cleanse. And then she called me, and I said, where do you get all this? I'm not doing this. I said, I want the $6 burger. What am I supposed to do about the $6? You know, you just get into college and you leave your mama, and she didn't let us eat an ounce of beef growing up, so I binged, and
You talking about
Joyce Jones.
Did you just come here?
And she told me, she said, I don't care how many days, you never remember anything I said. She said, always remember, it doesn't matter how many days you fast, as long as you fast, the body has to take a break. You know, and she used to have brain cancer, and that stuff is gone for her. People don't usually survive with that.
Joyce Young, right?
Joyce Young, not the
Yeah, I was.
Young, Joyce
Yeah.
Young.
She got me on her program.
I had no interest. She just stopped me in the middle of a service.
She did the same.
Said, your face? And I
She
said,
said, you ain't feeling good, are you, son? And I looked at her. How do you know I'm not?
and I'm
feeling
sitting
good?
over here teaching, and she said, go get my books. They're simply wholesome, and I was not interested. And now I'm doing this. So, I even told her son one day, I'm not doing that. Okay, food, and I went and got a whole nother degree and changed everything over this. This one, protein and starches don't do it. So these are just, and it specifies the starch. So you see some of these starches are up here in the low starch vegetables, right? I tend to just eat a lot of squash. I'm like a fan of squash. But you cannot be mixing squash with meat, right?
Oh, question.
And look, beans. Beans you can't.
You can't mix beans with meat?
See that?
You
Beans.
know, sometimes I eat for
Protein.
breakfast like an egg and then I have a banana, but that's not good.
Oh, you
Eat
said
that
egg
stuff
and
separate.
beans with
Eat
meat?
that stuff separate.
Just eat it.
You
Yeah,
can't
you
mix
want the
beans
egg,
with
then
meat?
wait, and then eat your bananas.
You can't mix beans with meat?
No. See? Oh, you can eat beans with meat.
Oh, okay,
But look, no starch.
okay.
So this is very good. Go over it and follow it like a guide, and it will help you with so many issues.
Daniel.
So the low starch vegetables at the top, you can
That's
mix with
fine.
protein.
The leaves.
I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna get it.
Leaves, the little flowers, where's the cruciferous? Oh, no, the cruciferous. Yeah, we can eat it with flowers, cruciferous vegetables, like the cauliflower and the broccoli.
So low starch vegetables can go with protein?
Yes.
Do you eat your spinach and your cabbage raw, or do you cook it?
I steam
You
everything.
steam it, because,
And I do eat raw cabbage.
yeah, you can eat raw.
I do eat it sometimes, but I grind it.
Okay, because he was saying that it turns into a liquid sulfur.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I didn't know that.
Causes gas.
Yeah.
A lot of, so steaming is fine, just no cooking, please. Okay? We don't want to cook these vegetables to death. We want to still see their color.
So
The
you,
color is what protects us. Do you want to, would you take soldiers and put them into war and say, now go, there's no weapons?
do you drink soda pop?
I don't, I haven't had soda in years.
What? So,
I drink
so do you drink juices?
Water.
No juices?
Jake, juice is like once they hate it. No, water.
Only thing you
Water.
can drink is water. No
Now, if
tea?
they want juice, I get the emergency pack and I mix it in there and say, here. I am not buying juice, no,
You don't buy tea.
no.
No tea?
I have lots of teas, I had tons of it this morning, I'm detoxing, had tons of it. But water, period,
So,
salt
is
water,
it
no salt.
Is there certain type of teas we can drink to stay away from?
Herbal teas are fine, I don't have my tea. No, you can drink teas, get you some chamomile, mint leaves. You can take rosemary, so rosemary is great, especially for anybody over 40. You can take rosemary, boil it down. It's nice. Peppermint, help with digestion while you eat, but no drinking and eating at the same time, no, unless it's hot.
And can we put honey in it?
Penny, go give me some paper towel. Put that junk down, it's not yours.
Can we put honey in our tea or just straight?
Straight. You could add, you know what you could add? Blackstrap molasses.
Black strap?
Yes.
No
Yeah.
honey.
Yeah, honey. Blackstrap molasses for the iron.
You won't
No,
find
let
it
her
in
go
Ralph's.
get it. No, she'll get popped. Go get it.
Where you
You know where it is?
Yeah, she knows. She'll
No,
find it.
no. What, you know where the bathroom is?
Find it. Go ask the man over there.
Oh, there's nobody down there.
She'll find it.
So where you buy the black strap molasses?
Rouse has that. And it has iron. And you could add some lemon in that so you can.
Okay, so
absorb
black
it.
strap molasses in my tea, because I like to drink lots of tea.
So this is diatomaceous earth. This is my dirt from the bottom of the ocean, you know. This is good for your gut. However, if you go get Dr. Ed, and I'm not like selling his products, you know, so I don't want you to think I'm in, but I do believe in this one product because no one has it. No one.
You said Dr. Brown has that?
This is in this, okay? He puts this inside of this, so you're getting it all at once, but I'm one of those, like I said, I had an issue. I overdose on everything, it has to be good stuff. This gets rid of parasites. This is good for your gums, your teeth, for blood sugar problems. Like, I do not have a sweet tooth right now. That is my battle, because right now I'm mineral deficient because of stress. So this helps with the sugar, right? Because it's silica. This is natural silica, and it's good for, you know, you don't have minerals in your body, you crave stuff. So if you craving some stuff, you are missing something. You gotta reflect.
What's that in the,
This was, lady in the office gave it to me for free, Dr. Brad don't know. But this is, you could order it a 50-pound bag for $49 off the internet. Food grade diatomaceous earth.
The same, that's
He has this at his office for 20.
really, in that container?
This is also in his formula. Now this is the intestinal healing. This thing heals a lot of things. He has drug addicts that come in those offices and they know, because they say, we just want the slippery elm. See? We just want the slippery elm. Slippery elm is in here. It helps them swallow, because when you do meth, a lot of times it damages and they can't swallow and eat. So they know to come and get this, and he used to have me give it to them. And they take this and it coats here because it's slippery. If you mix this, you'll see the slippery elm. It's like jelly.
It sure is.
And it coats this, all this, and you notice your food is slide. You gotta eat rice. Don't do it all.
did it help your
You're trying to heal. You're supposed to eat vegetables, but if you can eat some rice after you take this, you'll be like, man, I can eat rice and no bloat because this is coating.
No, it don't bloat, it doesn't, it comes up or I either
Yeah,
break out.
there's it's probably most likely a leaky gut issue. Anytime you can't eat a grain or some type of, something from some type of grain or plant, and it may feel like it's coming up, it's like an irritable bowel issue. But this coats, okay?
Do you have any of these with you today?
No, I should be selling his stuff. I have to ask him,
Okay.
because he's very.
Is this the one on Compton?
This is 429 West Manchester.
No, right there before you get to, you know where the.
Right next to
Very
Goldberg?
picky on who sells it.
No, not Goldenberg, not Goldenberg, but when you get to going to the 405 freeway, what's the chicken and
Roscoe's.
Roscoe's.
block before you get there.
If you want it, I could take orders and give them to him, and he could ship it out tomorrow. And just call and pay for it.
Now, how much is it?
This is 27.
And what is that?
The intestinal healer. You take it before you eat.
That's it.
Is that the
Is he
same thing
open
in your
today?
plastic bag?
What's today? He not open on the evening.
Can I look at it for a minute, just to
Okay.
see?
Yeah.
All right.
Is that the same
That's
thing in
the
the
bag.
plastic
What
bag?
you gotta do is,
Let me take it. But he's open late, like.
Now,
Yeah.
Brother
Yeah, you'll
Williams.
see.
is that the same thing that's in your plastic bag?
Is she
Yes.
If
finished?
he puts a little bit of
Is she
this in
finished?
there, I just take this extra, because I notice my body is
Oh,
craving.
okay.
So where do you get that from?
Brother Williams.
From him.